Alright, let's get started. Welcome back, everyone, to a series of Wonders events. I'm your humble DM Robin, joining us today by Stefan, play as our human sorcerer Riviani. Yeah, he's missing his head. Well, yeah, video, it's fine. Yeah, but next is Nathan, play as our Asmar Paladin, Vaikin. And finally, Kat, play as our Wood Elf Rogue Tali. And we'll jump right back in. Last time, so first they were at the marketplace searching for, after they parted ways with 9, and they kind of received this Tali and Viking kind of received this message of saying, they information they should go on search for this Commander Nox in order for an possible treatment for Lavinia's injury, curse / poison. So they did. They went to the marketplace and ran into a bunch of, gnomes trying to sell them stuff and being rude at selling, which makes them a bad salesman. But anyway, yeah, they just ran into the marketplace and found that they're about to host an kind of speech, and in result, the speech Commander Nox gave is kind of upsetting because it means postponing the Gemini Festival, which is just about to happen. It's just should be happening tomorrow, and then everything got postponed for a week. So the people get upset, and thus, with a little bit of help of Viking.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
A slight bit of help from Viking. Kind of sort of riot begins. So everyone just start fighting. Punching each other. The automatons on the streets try to calm everyone down. Viking used that as an advantage, as an opportunity to sneak himself in and finally get in chat with Commander Nox. Well, in the meantime, Tali run into this punk kid Ash again, who's stealing again, and then got caught again. And the result is the kid managed to slip through Tali's fingertip and ran into the crowd of fighting mobs. So yeah, Viking, being the one who kind of partnered with Althea, who shows Commander Nox who she really is, a royal blood. Commander Nox just kind of okay, yeah, come into my office, let's chat. Yeah, kind of greets Viking in I wouldn't say highest standard, but in a really high manner. Just
for another soldier, it was okay.
And then you exchange stories of adventure and battles. Commander Nox seems to be quite fond of you as a drinking buddy, and he even showed you his armory in exchange. So yeah, you learned about his brother who's died in a place called Barovia, and you learned that he was one of the the Order of the Silver Dragons knight. Yeah, and it's kind of sad for him. Well, after that, you received a envelope given by Commander Nox saying that this will get you into the royal banquet. While in that banquet, one of his old traveling buddy, this cleric, will be able to help you. Yeah, so to speak. He doesn't really know how magic works, but he thinks that this bishop will be able to help you. On the other end, Tali, who's chasing after the kid, ended up underneath the city in the Thieves Guild, which appears to be, after a few mechanism and magic tricks that blocks random passengers away. Yeah, and was signed a contract under duress of finding this item, this golden egg from the Silver Council's chairman's house. Well, mansion. yeah, it doesn't involve you killing anyone, but it still feels kind of weird to be signed a contract, which you don't exactly sure what will happen. Yeah. All right. Well, now let's get back to the Riviani side. So, Riviani, you left the tavern. You don't know what happened to the others because you left the tavern with 9.
Right.
And yeah, at first 9 is like leading you to one side of the street. You find the streets like I described last time, being vibrant. Amazing inventions can be seen anywhere. You see this mechanical wonders, kind of bird-like creation, kind of fly soaring through the skies. You see people with boots that can shoot out energy from it and just fly into the air. And also you see banners like of different kind of advertising maybe, but it's all demonstrated on a like translucent screen of sort. Yeah. So
I'm basically like a kid in the candy store right now.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What's that? That's so cool. What's that?
Yeah. 9 has to try to calm you down as you walk through the crowd. Yeah. First, roll me a, well, not stealth check, but more like perception check to see what you can tell.
Let's see.
Yeah. All right. You are really perceptive of seeing the stuff around you, and you also can tell that 9 is trying to keep you guys on the down low because apparently, though it's crowded and everything, it doesn't seem like he wants to be out in the open of sort. Maybe he got his reasons, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. It's just there's so much to look at here.
Yeah, I know. For first-time travelers to hear, there's this is a city of wonder, but I'm afraid we have something else on our hand, and it's best we stay unseen. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. From what you realize, this kind of triggers the memory when you first investigate the gate. As 9 says to keep it on a download. Last time when you were teleported to this place, I rolled for you. I rolled the Arcana check for you because you weren't here. So you kind of spotted from the last Arcana check. You can't really tell much, but you do sense something off because you can sense the slight trace of necromancy energy as you teleport through the portal. You think that is not the main reason why the gate is blocked, why it's only one-way trip. There might be something else, but that's the best you can detect. Yeah. And this combines with the thugs that were surrounding you. You also spotted with your perception check, there seems to be some guy that's following after you.
Yeah, alright. I'll sort of lean sort of towards 9, sort of try to speak like a hushed tone, I don't suppose that has anything to do with the guy who's been following us for a little bit now.
You mean? How many do you sense? He kind of looks around and try to remain calm at the same time.
I think it's only one. We should be fine if we just act casual. I think. I'm not sure.
He's gonna make his own perception check now that you mentioned that. Let's see. Perception. Alright. Alright, he kind of like just quietly sensing around and then says, well, on my count, there's 5 of them. But
Okay, that might be a slight problem then.
they have been exchanging positions for quite some time, taking different routes and everything. You know what? Let's make a small detour. And he like kind of leads you to a small back of the alley and just like quickly darts out of the way. You can't tell how many left and right turns you make in this maze-like small alley. But with your previous perception, the one that seems to be following you got lost in this like wild intersections and everything, and you kind of ditched him at the end. It took you about 5 minutes or so. It wasn't that hard. This guy clearly doesn't know what he's doing, but judging by the look of Nine's face, you think yeah, there are still a few tails on your back. Yeah, but yeah, like eventually he leads you to the main street again, and at the like hard right turn, you guys all darted into this like really well decorated kind of building. It has like stone stairs and like high ceilings, and you can from the walking inside, you can tell that the reception desk, like there are tons of you would say adventurers that were in there, like looking at a board or something. There are about 5 of the boards on top. You see like contracts of saying find a missing person. You see boards of saying like locate family heirloom. You see this one, like the biggest one on top is like lost treasure. Yeah. So yeah, you think you're inside a sort of like a main hall for adventurers to exchange knowledge, and yeah, possibly the guild inside. 9 kind of took you to the front desk. The one who's sitting there, there are about 10 of the reception desk that just like lay around. The one you guys went to, it looks like just another human being just sits there and just greeting one of the angry customers and like saying, oh yeah, you'll get paid with your badges, just hand it over your like results, and we'll determine if this mission is successful or not. And you see the guy right in front of you. Apparently, he's a like not a really pleasant dwarf. He just looks down at the reception and just yelling and like saying, basically saying, "I found this, and this is mine to keep, but you also have to pay me." So, the front desk, the man that's sitting in the reception desk, just kind of saying, "If you don't stop like yelling, we'll have someone to escort you out here." The dwarf kind of struggles for a little bit and like eventually gave in. Say just slammed the stuff on the counter, and yeah, that's about it. So the dwarf just like storms off. Yeah, and you guys are in the front desk. 9 kind of nods to the reception person, and then kind of like writes down something on the front desk, and then yeah, just send a letter, sort of like a letter or something, and then because you can't really tell for sure from afar, he just hand it over to the receptionist, and then yeah, the guy in the front desk just kind of quietly leads you guys into a small room. Yeah. The room is like kind of a meeting room of sorts. There's fruits and drinks on the table. Nine sits you down as well, and then just says, "Whew, I think we lost our tails for now." And
Oh, well, that's good at least. But what was that letter you gave to that guy? Are we meeting somebody or?
yes, in fact, we are taking a shortcut, meeting someone else on their side. This place is just the first step to shake off our tails, and to and he waited for you guys waited for about 10 minutes until one guy just opens up the meeting room and leads you guys to another room, which this room looks similar to the one you just arrived in. The one you arrived in the dwarf's backyard. There's ruins carved on the floor, but this one seems smaller, and it doesn't look as like detailed as the one you saw before. And he opens up the portal and just kind of wave you guys to go forward. Yeah. You can see from this side to the other side. It's like a small windowed room of sort. You can't really tell for sure, but you see Nine just walk right through it, and he even waves you back and says, "Come in."
Right. Yeah, I'll just go after him. Then.
Okay, so you just walk right after him. It's even like smoother than walking through another doorway. And then you arrived. Hold on, sorry. Let me check. Yeah. So as you teleported out, yeah, you saw this majestic building right outside of the window, like the sort of teleportation room you step out. Turns out it's more like a small pathway, and then you can tell from afar this gigantic building carved like sort of like a round shaped gateway, and it's always like it's humming and like shifting during time, and you can tell that from the look of it, it's definitely something fueled with arcane energy. And then as you look forward, you see a sort of like a sky bridge just leads all the way to the front into this gigantic round-shaped building with tall windows and glasses, and yeah, it's like really majestic in your point of view. And Nine kind of takes this time as you guys walk forward. It's like calmer, smoother. It's like the path itself. It's like just Nine seems to be more relaxed while walking on this like bridge, and he kind of described to you as, well, we should be safer here as we reach Arcadia, where the greatest wizard of this country resides in. So you can feel his tone, even his tone changed a little bit.
Great wizard, do you know this? Do you know this great wizard guy?
Greatest wizards.
You seem like you know a lot. You seem like you know a lot of what's going on here. I guess that would be the case if you really did live here before.
Yeah, I mean, there are multiple wizards here. The academy took in thousands of magic initiates and like students to tutor them, and they received the best education they could get right here. So yeah, we're here to meet a librarian. And he chuckles on his like choice of word. Yeah, it's like maybe he can help us with whatever is happening on your friend.
Oh yeah. I,
Yeah.
I hope Tali and Vaikin can were able to find what they were looking for too.
Uh, sorry, your voice is a little bit
Oh, sorry.
robotic. Yeah, because I can't really tell what you said. Sorry about that. Can you
Sorry, I was saying,
maybe
oh
repeat
yeah,
a little bit?
I really hope Viking and Tali can are able to find what they're looking for too, wherever they are.
Yeah, I trust they're in good hands. I mean, it's just finding the commander. Commander is a nice guy, and with your friend's status, I'm sure they'll be greeted on a higher standard. Yeah,
Well, I'll take whatever help I can get then.
yeah, definitely.
Lead,
And
I guess lead onward then.
yeah, and he kind of leads you to the way of this front chamber of the academy. There's no kind of reception instead of the one you see in the Adventurers Guild, the one you just entered before. This like academy, it doesn't have this front desk of receptionists or like busy trafficking people. There are occasionally students walk along the sky bridge, like with like spell books in their hands, like just muttering words, trying to really hard to connect with the weave and try to cast a spell. You think they're initiates, they're students, maybe. They're trying really hard to perform their first spell or something. Yeah, but beyond that, there's no. The stuff right here is, it looks, in a way of speaking, all automatic. Like, you see on the side, maybe a student, maybe a resident here, just step onto this round platform, and then the round platform just lift it up to the second floor. There's no stairs. There's no kind of like slides or anything. It just like move up and down. Like the place itself seems to be self functioning whenever it sensed anyone who steps onto it. And you heard someone else on the far side just kind of like crafting stuff. Instead of normal crafting like dwarves would do, they like use hammers and everything to bend metals and stuff. They are like chanting in a tone you never heard of before, and then the arcane energy just kind of formed itself into various items. Of course, there are failures, not always success. Sometimes you can hear explosions coming out of some certain libraries and stuff, and there usually at that time there will always be a voice screaming, either screaming in pain or yelling in frustration. Your pick. So yeah, and
yeah, I'm sort of immediately sort of drawn to that section of the.
Yeah,
sort of,
so you.
and I sort of was trying to get Ryan's attention, like, hey, what's going on there? What sort of crafting is going on there? That was fun.
That we better steer off those artificers. They are really good at creating stuff. However, they sometimes can get a little bit carried away. And before 9 can finish the sentence, there's a gigantic explosion coming right next to you, like boom. And then you heard, yeah, you saw a half elf flying in midair, just yelling ah, and it just falls onto the stone floor, face planted. It's like twitching for a bit, and it's like, oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Ow. Yeah.
I'll sort of like rush over to them. It's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What happened?
My life's work gone. And he just sighs. Who am I kidding? I'm just a student trying to mess with stuff even our masters didn't approve.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I guess. Here, do you want some help or?
He looks up to you as like, I can use a hand if you don't mind. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He
No
reaches
problem.
out his hand and grabs onto you and like, whew, just stretch and stretch. You can tell by the color of his robe, like it's the one thing that attracts your attention is the color of its robe. It's because it's shining in various colors and it doesn't seem damaged in any way. It's like you think that he might not be as hurt as he is, as he claimed he is. Yeah. Yeah, but eventually he just stood there and I was like, all right. We can start over. There must be a slight malfunction in the spells. I think the proportion of the potion that I just dropped should be a little less. And he's like starting to calculate all the variables and stuff. He looks like this. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you trying to make that one?
Oh, nothing. It's just another orb of dragonkind. I was mixing all the components together. However, it seems like... What's my failure time this time? You heard a robotic voice inside just says, it will be 200 times. 201st, sir. 201, sir. This guy just, fine. If I have to experience for 1,000 times, I'll do it.
An orb of dragonkind?
Yeah, he just looks at you and says, it's no big deal. Those are all, like, not the orb of dragonkind you thought it was. It was like a new and improved version. Yeah. Oh, by the way, where's my manners? I'm Gus. You are, and you are... He just looks at you.
I'm Riviani. Riviani Minecraft.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm actually new here.
Wait, a Minecraft? Huh.
Yeah. But
You wouldn't have any relationship with... Nah, that's nonsense. She's been out of this country for a few years. It's not gonna happen. Anyway, you know what? Good day. I have more experiments to attend to. And then he looks... Finally, he was like talking to you. He was like so self-focused until he like finally move his gaze towards 9 and says, 9, buddy! And he just hugs 9. 9 was like, all right, just, you know. And he looks at Gus and says, do you know where we can find your master? We have certain stuff we like to discuss with him. He's like, Gus returned towards you guys and says, so what do you want to talk to that old man about? He's been sleeping in the library for days. I mean, he basically just dropped everything, you know.
I started saying like, oh, nice different too. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. He happens to be mine too. I started saying,
unlucky one, I would say. 9 just sighs. Yeah. That's it. Go on.
but who just you're about to say something that I reminded you of someone who.
Oh.
Who do you?
Oh no! It just Minecraft is like it's impossible. I mean, it's impossible. Like we never heard she has any heir or sisters in that matter. It's one of our founding father of the academy. I mean, Rose Minecraft. She wouldn't have anything to do with you. It's fine. Yeah, probably the same name. Like, you know what? Let's just get on to the task. What do you have in mind with the old man?
Like, I sort of just sort of stand there, like, open mouthed a bit when she actually mentions Rose. But, I
Kind of looks at you and just like, so time is of the essence here. What would you like to do? I mean, why would you like to meet my master? I mean, he's been sleeping in the library for days. Like I said, he's not doing anything at all. He's just basically enjoying the last of his retirement, losing the spirit of a wizard.
I think 9 has the answer to that.
Okay.
I'm sort of still trying to process what he says, so
9 looks at you, kind of concerned, but then he realized he thinks that there are bigger fish to fry. So he kind of talked to Gus and says, "We are here to discuss a rare curse binded disease, like poison. That since your master is a well-known alchemist, we think he could be of aid to solve this problem." Gus just like, why not ask for me? I mean, I did study from that old man. What is this curse poison thing? That's interesting. Never heard anyone would bind curse with a poison. But anyway, yeah. Tell me what it is all about. What's the symptom? What does the victim look like right now? Did she die? Did the person die? Or, did it still linger? Did you find an artifact? Tell me more. And 9 just kind of explained the stuff that's happened on Lavinia and everything. And Gus think of a few seconds and then says, "You know what? Since my equipments are blown apart," and he looks inside, you can see inside the room he was in. It's like a tornado has hit, strike lightnings into this room. Yeah. So everything is torn apart. You see broken glasses, broken vials, and shattered equipments and all that kind of stuff just lay on the floor. So yeah, Gus is like, it'll require some time. Maybe I can borrow someone else's experiments. Tools to experiment on. Anyway, I will need a sample of this weird, interesting case from the host. So he reaches out into his back pocket and pulls out kind of a needle slash weird looking circle around at the end of the needle, and he just hand it over to 9 and says, "Just gently poke the host and drain some part of her blood, and then we'll find out. In the meantime, I will fix my lab so we can experiment on that part later." Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
Wait. Of course. By the meantime, and he reaches out into his back pocket, you see underneath the cloak there is a small vial of bubbly blue energy, kind of crackles inside this small sealed vial. And he hands over to Riviani this time, and it's like, give this to the patient, so she might last a little bit longer. It's basically enhance her self metabolism and defense mechanism in order to fight off a disease. It's not gonna trigger anything else. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't know how much this will help.
Don't worry. 9 helped me a lot in the past. So yeah, this one will be on the house. Well, definitely after the cure for the curse and poison will be a little bit expensive, but that'll be later. That'll be a cost for later on. For now, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, Gus just turns around and just kind of mutters in sadness as he sees all the broken stuff. Like, fuck. And he just like walks inside to the room. 9 kind of nods at you. Yeah, and just you guys are like starting to head back to where you guys came from.
Yeah, when we start heading back, I start like shaking out a bit. Like just said Rose. That's the name of my mom. Rose is my mom.
Okay, but that's impossible. I mean, Arcadia's been formed like a few hundred years ago, and you're, if I'm correct, a human, right? Who just reached her mid-20s. So I don't think, maybe it's just the same name. As you guys are talking, you walk through a window of like exhibitions of the past honors, and like the ones you'll see on the school billboards. So past honor, who won the first place, who won champions, and what's the best the best students they ever had, and who has become professor and stuff like that. You see on one side of the wall it says the 3 founding members of the Arcadia, and you see this giant plaque of like a woman's head that's crafted on one side of the plaque, and it just says Rose Minecraft, greatest scholar ever lived.
That's sort of like,
and it's definitely how you remember your mother looks like. Well, from the description of your master, anyway, and your father.
Yeah, I sort of walked up to like wide-eyed, and I sort of almost like reach out to like touch it, and I sort of like stop myself, and I turn to 9, and I sort of say like, this is her. This is it looks just like what my old teacher just described her. This is incredible.
He kind of looks at you, looks at the plaque. You can see 2 others also stand alongside the wall. There's one that says Alaric, new word, and the best arcanist ever existed. And then in the middle, it's like this Andrew Austin, and like this the first one, Alaric new word, it's like maybe a half elf. You can't really tell, but the line of the face is really intricate, and like in a manner of speaking, handsome in a way. And the middle one, Andrew, his face looks a bit old, and he looks purely human, and it just says the greatest principal ever lived. So yeah, they're all like the founding members of Arcadia. So yeah.
She was a founding member. Like, I started to say like to myself, and sort of just like amazement stage, and like and I sort of just like saying like, I, she was a founding member of this. Isn't that amazing?
If you're saying it's true, that's interesting. I can't tell for sure if that's a good news or bad news or it's just interesting. But
why wouldn't it be good news? What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's been 1,000 years, but it's been a few hundred years, and if your mother or whoever she is not a, I don't know, is not a chosen or a deity is chosen or an elf or something that can live for a really long time, this may involve necromancy. I mean, in my past opinion, when I was crafted, those stuff that tend to last are not built to last long tend to sort other ways to extend their lifespan. And when he says that, he looks down on himself and kind of in a lower tone. You notice that, yeah. Speaking of lifespan, as you get in contact with 9 really often, and you all heard his side of the story. Etherborns are not known to last really long. Maybe a couple of years, maybe a decade. That's it. They perish just as fast as they were built, and if they don't get enough kind of life force to sustain their life, yeah, they'll perish in a very fast pace, and it will not look good because it's like pieces of him will crumble apart. Yeah. So he just says, well, I'm glad you found some inkling to your parents, to your creator. No. You just
I sort of had this sort of gut reaction when he sort of mentions like necromancy and sort of, and I sort of and I sort of just sort of like necromancy. Not really sure what to think about that.
Yeah. Me neither.
But hey, at least I know a little bit more about her now. That's for something, right?
Yeah, that is something.
Anyway, we should probably get this to where it needs to be.
Yeah, we probably should. I don't think your friend can hold on any longer if we don't get this to her in time.
Right, let's get out.
Yeah, so you guys went backwards. Yeah, and switching scene to Tali. So right now,
Alright.
yeah, you were outside of the alley, frustrated, just being signed a contract under duress, and yeah, you're not feeling that happy. What would you like
Tali's just like, geez. I'm kind of muttering to myself, like, I'm in this place for one bloody day, and I already find and fuck up the Thieves Guild, and hello, Althea, all over again. Oh my god. And I'm just like, I'm walking back out of the street, grumbling to myself, trying to remember where Althea was, and trying to find everyone again.
Okay, what's your passive perception?
18.
18, alright. So you find your path with fairly easy. As you walk backwards, you can hear footsteps coming right behind you.
I have a hand on my kitchen knife, but I'm also just like, jeez, who now?
Yeah. As you said, who now? One side of the street you're walking on suddenly turns pale. Like, the sun is still there. You can still see the sun shining over. You can still see the streets like under the light, but everything turns sort of like a gray scale kind of tone. So you see only black and white, and there's no colors of any sorts. It's just like the vibrant city streets just kind of got sucked out of life all of a sudden. You can
Tali's blinking like me without my glasses, like,
yeah.
what?
You can feel the shadows forming right behind you as you look around. Right now, you're surrounded by about 6 of them. They're just staring down at you, like weapons ready.
Hi. I don't want to fight. Is there an exit? Like, I want to go up. I want to get away.
All right. So you look up into the sky. Yeah. The alleyway is just like a 2-way street. It's like, yeah. So
I'm clicking my boots and going
yeah.
to the roof.
Go ahead. So the moment you click your boots and fly up, with the corner of your eyes, you see these shadows just stands there. Like all 6 of them stands there, but one. One of them starting to fly, as well as a pair of black feathered wings sprung out of its back and starting to chase after you.
All right, I'm gonna light on the nearest roof, and I'm just gonna wait for him. I'm just gonna be like, brother, what? I'm basically looking at him like, why? Why are you following me?
The shadows' face are blurred. They are humanoid, of course. There's no details depicting what race they are or what gender they are. However, there's one thing to know for sure. That is, their hands are always on their belt, weapons ready. And he looks at you. Well, it looks at you, not saying a word. Instead, it just draws 2 of its blade.
Oh man!
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the baton. This is gonna suck.
Depends. Alright, initiative time.
Nothing's as bad as like murdering somebody with a butter knife.
Yeah.
Oh, in that one.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, that's so good. Alright.
I've had a bad day.
Alright. I'm gonna, because there's no, it's a small roof fight, so there's no street involved. I'm gonna just write down what you got and roll for the shadow.
Boy.
Shadow. Okay. You rolled a 6.
Oh, great.
Just one fire. Just one. Yeah, you two are great. All right. So the shadow just leaps forward and tries to make an attack. What's your AC?
15.
All right. That misses. All right. So you see, the blade just swoof right past through your hair. It cuts a few strings of your the end of your hair, but that's about it. And it just darts back to its place, standing.
I meant to layer my hair anyway. I'm gonna swing the baton.
Okay. Baton. That hits. Roll for damage.
It's only gonna be. There's no allies here. I'm a weak rogue.
So, with the baton embedded into the shadow, you heard a scratching sound, like someone is like scratching the glass, like kind of as the baton embedded into the shadow. The shadow kind of looks down and just boing. The baton returns to your hand. He kind of like pulled it out and tossed it back to you. That's it. Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone ever talk? Why doesn't anyone ever talk to me? And I'm saying this just like frustrated. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage and back up to the edge of the roof.
He actually disengaged from you the last round. So do you still want to disengage to another side?
Well, if he's already disengaged, I will keep backing up, but I'll throw the offhand as well.
Okay. Right, that also a hit. Roll for damage. Alright. So, another squeaking sound coming from the part that just embedded into the target. But that's about it. The shadow seems to be shaking for a bit, but it still holds. Now will be his turn. Sorry. Shadow again. Okay. He swoops the dart. Like, this time he's holding up darts. He swoops the darts right into your abdomen. As you're trying to dodge really hard, it kind of hits you in midair, dealing... Alright. 6 points of piercing damage as the dart just embedded into your body.
I'm picking them out and dropping. Yeah. I'm like, pedestrians? No? Okay, it's gone.
Right. So you look down on the darts. They are feathers. In fact, they are black feathers. So you see the darts embedded into your torso, and you manage to like rip it off, but it still hurts.
I'm keeping one and I'm tucking it behind my ear.
Okay. Second attack misses as well. So there's more darts coming out of. This time you can see better now. He reaches out his hand and like a swarm of darts just release from underneath his sleeves. And it's like however, you were like fast enough to dodge out of the way as you were like rolling in midair, like and just swooping around. You managed to dodge out of the distance, so that will be the end of his turn. He's actually gonna move forward, charge right towards you. You moved. How many feet did you move when last turn?
I would have done my full movement backwards, or at least as fast as the edge of the building. I don't know how long this run is.
Yeah, he darts to the edge of the roof. The roof is about 30 feet, so basically you dart outside of his straight sight, but he can still hit you. Because of the corner of his eye, he can still see downside of the street. But right now, he just leaps off the roof and chase after you. Now will be your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm continuing running through the crowd and flinging my baton behind me.
There's no crowd on the streets. That's the worst part of all this. You see like abandoned carts. You see not entirely abandoned like food stands and anything. There's no people on the streets. That's the most frustrating part and creeping part.
That is the most unnerving part of all of this. Not the grayscale, not the fact that there is no life in the streets when everyone was about to celebrate. Like,
yeah. So the baton hits. Roll for damage. All right, 9 points. Another 9 points of damage. as it embeds into the target, you think it hurts something. It kind of hits something off. You can't really tell what it is because it falls off underneath the shadow, but that's about it. Do you wish to move forward?
I'm going to
or
bonus
do-
action dash.
Okay.
I'm full sprinting.
All right. So you full sprint tries to get out of the alley. That will be the end of your turn. So you full sprint to the edge of the street. Shadows forming in line, blocking the final exit. Yeah. But they just stand there. They don't really attack you. They just stand there. So that will be Shadow's turn. Shadow doing to use his bonus action to also dash and to chase after you within range. He's gonna try to attack again. Hit. More feathers coming out of its gauntlet. This time you see better. It's a claw-shaped gauntlet. And Shadow starts. This time it deals 8 points of piercing damage as it embeds into your torso, like. And
It's
second
time to hurt.
yeah, second attack misses.
I double over in the pain and it whiffs over my head.
Yeah. All right, that will be your turn now. He looks down at you.
I'm trying to push through the shadows that are at the end of the alleyway.
Okay. So you try to fight your way over, or do you try to dash or dodge around
I mean,
and dash away?
I'd love to literally be still sprinting at them, hit the deck, and try and slide past them.
Okay. So as you do a slide motion, roll me an acrobatics check to see if you slide through them. Alright.
Brother,
Alright.
that plus 10 is still trying.
Yeah. With the acrobatics and a little boost of your boots, you manage to leap onto the side. However, as you you are trying to parkour your way out of this, as you dash and then leap to the other side of the wall and tries to maneuver, the shadow kind of grow in shape as it kind of forms a kind of a veil. It's it looks weak and soft as you can penetrate through, but as you touches it, it kind of shocks you in a way you never expected. Roll me a Constitution save for this one.
Ow. That's that one. That's that one.
That hurts. It kind of knocks you backwards and kind of stuns you onto the ground.
Ow.
Yeah, you're now prone and you're stunned.
Awesome.
Yep.
Whoops.
So that will be the end of your turn. The shadow kind of looks move forward, the one that was attacking you. Move forward and looks down on you. You're not in good shape, right? You're now about
I'm at 35.
Okay. So he looks down at you and he kind of turns around and nods to the shadow. The shadows kind of converged with him. This is quite a horrifying scene to watch because the shadows that were all 6 of them, that were a total of 6, 5 of them just blend into the ground and merge with him as if they're sludge and just kind of conformed into the one that was attacking you. And the street, as you look at it, it's now returned to normal, vibrant color. And this live, jovial sound you can hear. You also see from afar there are people starting just on the street. But before, when you see
There was no one
there was
here.
no
There's no
one.
question.
Yeah. and the shadow kind of looks at you, and then like just sludge slowly just falls apart into the floor, and then just moves like it's sentient, and moves inside the alleyway where the other shadow lies, and then just disappear.
I'm just gonna lie on the ground and be like, how hard did I hit my head?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's pretty hard. As you fall to know, that's pretty hard. Yep.
I pick myself up, dust myself off, and just be like, well, welcome to Lux.
Yeah. A grand welcoming. As you said that, you see the darts that were used to attack you are now all crumble into shadows. Yeah. So that's about it. As
I
you
was like, just even if I do.
yeah. As you dust them off, you heard a sound just says, "There you are." And Althea appeared right behind you and just taps you on the shoulder and says, "So where have you been? And what did you do to yourself? I mean, what a mess!" And she just like starting to like.
It's me. You know how hard I find new towns. I always. What is it about me that people like hitting?
That's the question I've been asking myself a lot lately as well. I don't know. We looked the easy target, maybe. Yeah.
Probably okay. Yeah, that's a fair cop, but still.
Squishy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Did you manage to find Nox at least?
Yeah, I mean, your friend were having a conversation with him. I don't know if the conversation went well. I mean, I did presented myself as the part of the royal family, so I think, yeah.
So you did or you did not leave Vaikin alone with Nox?
I did. I mean, you're the priority. I mean, you were gone. You were gone. I mean, I was afraid you would get into the Thieves Guild, maybe get yourself into trouble, you know. They like to coerce the new thieves in town, the new rogues in town to do something.
Yeah, about that.
Don't forget about murdering hobos. It's always an option.
What else was I supposed to do?
I mean,
it was either it was sign the contract or get horribly murdered underground.
Yeah. Wait. If you presented yourself, you don't have.
This is a new city. Like, do you realize how absurd that sounds? I'm like, yes, I'm part of the royal family. I don't believe it. How am I supposed to convince these people that that's real?
Yeah, you'll probably do worse. Maybe the Thieves Guild will try to, kidnap you and ask for ransom money. Yeah.
It was bad news. It was not great. Lovely city.
But I mean, did the Thieves Guild did this to you? I mean,
no, that's the weird thing, right? Okay, so does this city have like weird shadow raven people that just like stabbing you?
There's a long, silent pause as you said, shadow raven people. She looks at you, and in all seriousness, she says, "What did you see?"
All right. One leader, bunch of feathers, whole shadows. Like the world went grayscale, and there was no one on the streets. I could not go. I couldn't hide. It was, and he had a whole bunch of others that were just shadows. It was a cage match, but versus shadows. And then I tried to get past them, and I hit my head, and then it merged into one disgusting sludge black thing and left. It was weird. It had me. Like it had me. There was no way I was going to win, and then it just left.
She looks at you for a second, for a long, worrying second, and then you can hear her muttering to herself, saying, "There's no way. I didn't tell anyone of the family. It's impossible."
And neither did I. You know how important low profiles are. What are these people?
They are supposed to be our guardians. I mean, they are part of the troops of the court. I mean, it's I mean, it's you. You're sure you're not mistaken? I mean, I trust you, but this city tends to be interesting, and there are a lot of ways people can do that. Can you describe again with the figure how do you know they are raven people? I mean,
it was a feather. I tucked it behind my ears. He literally stabbed me with feathers. I wouldn't mistake that. That's.
This is bad. This is really bad.
Okay, if you think this is bad, now I'm proper worried.
Because those people are the Court of Serenity's royal guardians. Unlike the Bastions help guard the entire city. But these shadow warriors, they are our personal guards. That.
Okay, so if they're our personal guard, they're not doing a bang up job of it. They literally stabbed their charge.
They follow different orders. I mean,
who controls them then? I tried to ask, but there was nothing.
That's the worst part. Yeah, I don't think it's mom. It's.
But like they didn't attack you, right? So it's probably just a case of mistaken identity. I mean, like honestly, I would think that I'm some kind of fraud. So makes sense to me.
But I never tell anyone besides. Oh fuck. Fuck
who?
Me.
Ali.
She kind of knocks her head and says, "All right, remember I said I told the commander who I really am."
The captain of the city guard?
Yeah.
Commander Knox, the one that we just left Vaikin with.
Yeah.
Well, you know my comfort at Vaikin being alone with this guy. I mean, I swear to God, I thought the moment you left him alone, I thought Vaikin was going to kill this man. There's a 50-50 shot. It happens.
But I mean, Knox is okay. Not the captain I knew before. The city guards were once our in command until the people thinks they need their own representative, and then they select Knox. I mean, this is a fair city, but there are still stuff that's happening underneath it.
I met them.
The worst thing about the Shadow Warriors attacking you, they are supposed to be directly under my mother's charge. All right.
Can we disagree sometime? I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. Look, Ali, don't worry about it. I'm fine. Look at me. I'm fine.
And I don't think if you didn't tell me, I don't think they'll. I think they leave because they sense my presence. Because.
See, that's good.
No, that's the like worst part. The Shadow Warriors are bounded by oath. They are not supposed to attack one of the royal blood, and they can tell who is the royal blood. They won't be able to hurt someone else unless someone specifically commands it. That's the worst part. She kind of looks at you and says,
Ali, it's all right. I don't mind. It's been a while, but being turned upon by an ally is not unusual. And honestly, and you're fine. Like, she's not turned on you. It's like, I'm a threat to you right now. I have not proved myself to your mother, to anyone here, that I am trustworthy. Like, this is fine.
You know what? I'll talk to her. She just looks at you and just says, I'll go talk to her. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure this is a misunderstanding. Maybe
Yeah.
someone mistaken you as some kind of a threat. But
I
yeah.
genuinely would look at myself as a threat. Don't worry about it. Like, we've got bigger problems. We will heal Lavinia, and then we will deal with this noble family drama
Okay.
later.
Let's go. I mean, I'm not sure what Viking gathered, but I'm sure he has a solution for our problem. All right. Let's go.
He's rather adept at that. Yeah.
And switching back to Viking. All right. A lot of family drama happened behind your back.
Let me set the scene.
On both characters. Which
Let
you
me
don't
set
know.
the scene.
Yeah. And
I'm in a shop.
Yeah.
What is Viking up to?
Yeah.
Let me set the scene. I'm in a shop.
Okay.
Holding a dress up to myself, looking at the merchant. I'm like, would this make my ass look fat?
Well,
and that's how
the shop owner is like a small gnome per se. Like basically half of the shops here are owned by gnomes, but this one in particular, it's not as rude as as his kins, and he's like just being a really good merchant per se. It's really rare for gnomes here to present that kind of manner, and he just says, "Oh no, sir, and this will elegantly represent your shape of your body and your strong backs and a warrior's shape. So yeah, no need to worry." And
I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you. I like the cut of your jib, sir.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
I'm just like, it was me judging the guys, because I hate the rest of the merchants in this area.
Yeah.
I have to go to court soon.
Oh, the court? I mean, is it the court? And he just looks at you and just winks.
Yeah, the court of serenity.
Oh,
I'm guessing
yes, don't
court.
be shy. I mean, people there, yeah. And
I need you to make me a lady killer. Just like,
ooh,
trying to...
we got ourselves a charmer here. All right, let's see what can I find. And he he just rifled through his collection of clothing, and he just not this one.
Cue the pretty woman montage.
Yeah. Anyway, he just tossed stuff all around, and then eventually pulls out a black it's kind of a suits you never seen before. It's got a black coat, black coat with trench coat with long ties and accompanied shirts that are white inside. And he just looks at you and says, "Oh, a fine man deserves a fine taste. Here, try this on." And,
I put it on, and I walk out. I look in the mirror.
Yeah, it looks.
And I immediately start
amazing.
doing air punches, huh, huh. I'm seeing if I can fight in this thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I really care about.
You can totally fight in this thing. It's he knows, as if the merchant measured your size with its own gaze. He knows the very details of your body and how much movement can the suit withstand if you're about to go into combat.
Oh, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god. Yeah. How much, man?
That will be 100 gold piece, sir.
Okay, put this aside for me. I have to go. I have more people with me. We're gonna need some clothing. So maybe we can barter a bit. We're gonna have to dress up, I think, in order to make our way or fit in through the court.
That will be nice, sir. And I'll make sure to put this on hold. He just grabs the coats off from you and just gently put that on the side. And what's your name, sir?
My name is Vaikin.
Oh,
Sir
Vaikin. He just put down the name on the name tag and just tap it onto the coat and just put it onto the side.
I'll switch into my stuff, and I'm like, okay, Good to go.
All right. Always welcome back, sir. And he just
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just that was my goal.
yeah, he just nods and like bows as you walk out of the door.
I have a fighting suit now.
All right. Yeah. So what
Even though
else?
I refuse to wear the pants of Buzz Killington.
What else do you want to do?
I tell him, I'm like, as I'm getting ready to go, I'm like, I need socks, but they need to be like bright yellow or something like weird. Just, I'll keep that in mind.
Don't worry, sir. It'll be accompanied with your boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'll go like, okay, where did everybody go now?
All right.
Like-
So as you are walking on the street, you see a crowded marketplace. Like everyone is still like walking, just trying to bargain with whatever creation is on the streets. You can see like merchants walking down the streets, just selling stuff. Annoying gnomes that you saw earlier were gone, but instead there are a bunch of dwarves that are standing on one side of a blacksmith, what appears to be a blacksmith shop. There's only an anvil, like sign on top. No name of the shop. It's more like a stand, and yeah, you can see dwarves hammering down like a piece of irons and like maybe making weaponry, maybe making stuff that will manufacture stuff. So yeah, what would you like
I'm
to
gonna
do?
go into the blacksmith.
All right, as you walk into the blacksmith shop, you heard a voice that, "Oi, you! I remember you." And you see, turn around.
Not my fault.
You
I
see
just-
a
before I
small
see him, I
dwarf,
just say-
like you guys just saw earlier, who were threatened and tossed away by the Raven Queen's priestess. Well, fake Raven Queen's priestess. They were like, "You got some balls coming back here, don't you?"
Yes. I just like answer yes.
Yeah. Let's see if we can cut them down to size.
You wouldn't be the first person to get smacked by my balls.
Oh, yeah? How
And I'm like, I say that
us?
with a straight face, like
Yeah.
almost like let me do an intimidation check on that.
Go ahead.
Just for-
roll for intimidation.
15.
Nice. Instead of like total
I'm
intimidation,
not being
it's more
aggressive
like
towards him. I'm just trying to like calm him down.
this guy is more like grossed out as he imagines like you describe a depict size and shape of your balls, and it kind of grows him out with the intimidation. He's like, all right, jokes aside. All right, jokes aside. Your friends owe us a debt, and you are gonna pay for her.
No, I'm not. No.
He just looks like, can I? He just like looks around to his people and like looks back at you. The other dwarves kind of laughed as you said nope. Just like, fuck. And he's like, you notice that he's not like attacking you per se. Like this kind of, it's kind of weird because last time when you were in the alleyway, they didn't hesitate to try to pounce on you, but this time it looks like he's slightly concerned about something, and since you're not taking any bait, he just looks at you and just growls as the automatons on the streets walks by, and he just like, yeah, better watch your back, boy. And
Oh,
he
that's
just turns.
okay. I just finished a long chat with my good old buddy, Commander
Knox.
Knox, as a fellow Order of the Gauntlet, he said any problems that anyone gives me, just let him know, and he would be more than happy to put a little bit of extra automaton sentry duty to watch over them. Do you want me to do a deception roll? Because I'm totally lying through my
roll for a deception check.
18.
Yeah. He's inside. Nah. He just growls and look at you. And look at the automatons on the outside walking past through. At this moment, because there are about 5 of them surrounding you, the automatons walking by and just says, "Can I assist you in any way, sir?"
I think we're good for now, fair middleman.
Have a good day, sirs. And he just walking away. Yeah.
Now, on to business. The reason I came into your lovely establishment, and I'm totally being 100% cordial right now, even though he's a dick. I am in need of some weapons at a fair price, and I accentuate at a fair price.
Ha! The dwarf just smirks and he waves at the blacksmith on the side, still hammering down. The blacksmith is also a dwarf with a long braided beard and just sweat's coming down on his forehead. It wasn't paying any attention. He wasn't paying any attention of your exchange, and until he sees the waving of the other dwarf, he just puts aside the stuff and says, "What?" And they just the dwarf that were threatening you just grabs this blacksmith to the back, and just you can hear them exchanging, just chattering, talking, and eventually the blacksmith came out and just says, "Oh, what do you want?"
Sorry, I'm looking at some of your wares here. I understand my party and your apprentice, and I look over to the little shithead, had a little run-in earlier, but I hope that is nothing that coin can't remedy.
Well, the so-called apprentice is actually the middleman. So, you mess with the middleman, you mess with the clan. Unfortunately, the price of each weapon will be 5,000 gold pieces for you.
That's a pretty good deal. I'm sure when I have to kick the shit out of your middleman again, I'll make sure I take his weapons. They'll fetch me a pretty penny at that rate. But have a nice day if you want to be that much of a dickhole. And I get ready to walk out the door.
What's your passive perception?
It's a 10.
Okay. Right. So, okay. Yeah. So the blacksmith just kind of nods and shrugs, basically, and says, "Well, if you want to mess with the boss, I mean, none of my business. But yeah, good luck at staying alive." And he just turns around, still hammering stuff. Goes back to hammering.
I make a mental note to next time I see that guy that I'm going to cockslap him. Not the blacksmith, but the middleman.
Okay. Yeah, so the middleman just hides inside and just not coming back up. So, what would you like to do next?
Well, scrap that idea. Well, I am going to have to find people then.
Okay. So you wander on the streets asking a few automatons, basically?
No, I'm more of a wanderer than a talker.
Okay.
For trying to find people, I think. Because, I don't know, she may have started some shit. Because, looking for Tali.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
looking down every dark alley I see, it's like...
Did you hide in there?
There's no blood.
Yeah.
Okay, she wasn't down there.
Yeah. All right. So eventually, as you guys are traveling, well, not traveling, as you guys are trying really hard to find your way, eventually you found yourself gathered to the side of the streets as you see Viking, you see Tali and Althea walking together. You see Nine and Riviani walking on from the other side, converging into uh, the sorry the last shelter you guys resides in, where Father Dwayne kindly greeted you guys, and Nine just looks at you and says, "Well, I hope no one's injured."
It wasn't my fault. Was the first thing I say to him.
Yeah, Nine kind of looks. He kind of just nods at you because you're not like your body is not like harmed in any shape or form. But he looks at Tali and just continues as, "So, what have you bumped into?"
We really surprised.
Did you guys make out okay? How are things going with you guys?
I'm alive. It's good.
Yeah.
These two made contact with our contact that we're actually supposed to say, like, mission accomplished.
Please don't tell me it was the little bit of a fracas in the courtyard there that caused you to get injured.
No, this is
that wasn't my fault, and I like.
It's fine. No.
Yeah.
Even though you were right beside me watching me do this shit.
Yeah, and I'm just like, nah, like that was fun. And I just I look at Althea and I'm like, family drama. I'm fine. It wasn't Allie. It was just we'll figure it out later.
All right.
The important thing is Lavinia right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
right.
on that mark.
And as he mentions that, I sort of take out the sort of the blue liquid that we got, and I sort of show it to her. We met a number of friends of Nine's in this big library / workshop place, and he wants us to get he wants us to bring in like a sample from Vaikin to see if she can see if he can figure out a way to sort of look into what's happened to her. But he also gave us this sort of potion that might help tide her over for a little longer. I sort of pushed the potion into her hands.
Riviani, you were a gift, and I look to Nine and go, and this person, he's trustworthy. We're not getting screwed.
Well, Gus can be many things, but he's certainly not a liar, and he's certainly not gonna trick us with his creation, because those are way too valuable. This vial itself, I've checked. It's a mixed brand of ether energy. The potion itself will cost about 500 gold pieces alone in the market, so there's no way he's gonna throw the money out.
Okay.
When he says that, I'm like, shit, this place is expensive. Just like out of context. Just like, oh.
What if you? Oh, let me guess. The gnomes. He just
not my fault.
I'm not saying it's your fault. But if you insist, yeah, not your fault. The gnomes. So what did you buy from the gnomes?
I just had a cordial conversation with a few of them, the blacksmith, and they called him the middleman.
Oh, the dwarves. Shit.
He has this fascination at my testicles for some reason. And I just leave it at that.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. All right.
He has a fascination with my testicles. I repeat myself. Just he brought it up, not me. It's not my fault.
Just sighs and just
oh god, I started this.
Yeah.
yet again.
I have a magnetism for getting stabbed. Vaikin here has a magnetism for the slightly more lewd arts.
Alright.
And I'm like walking inside to give Lavinia this potion. I'm just like, this is absurd.
Yeah. 9 also like accompanies you guys inside because it's like, as he said, it's not safe on the streets right now.
And we're also really talking about stuff that's gonna get us hit.
Yeah. So not a good place to have this conversation. Yeah, as you guys walk inside, 9 kind of sits you guys down as Tali went to pour the potion into Lavinia's mouth. Yeah, and 9 just continues saying, so there are 3, well, there's the dwarves, they are from the Iron Forge. Those are not some dwarves you would like to mess with. I did accidentally trespass their property, so there's that. I appreciate you guys' help. For someone from the outside, it is just helping a friend. But in doing so, you also kind of put a target on your own back. I know they're. Sorry, go ahead.
What's up with those dwarves anyway? Why are they being so mean to everyone else?
Well, we went into their boss's mansion in the first place, so that fault is on my part. I'm deeply sorry for dragging you guys into this. Alright, let me just explain. So, we have about 4 gangs in the city. There's League of the Ferocious, there's Ironforge Turf, there's the Jester Spawn, and yeah, there's the Mercenaries. So, the League is, well, not all the gangs are not something you would rather mess with, but they do exist for a certain purpose.
When he says mess with, I'm like, oops, like under my breath.
Yeah. So the Ironforge Turfs controls the dogs, the masons, and the blacksmiths. They are formed mostly about 90% are dwarves or skilled artisans who are great in crafting. So, yeah, even the sovereigns, their armies depends on the Ironforge to produce armors and weapons for their service and everything. So that is why they are not to be trifled with. And their boss. That is some personal beef. Well, Tyrone is not the kindest fella, but I mean, you would say cunning. I would say, Tyrone is a cunning guy. So is his deputy, the middleman you just met, Walrus. Those 2 are the ones of the Ironforge leaders, and yeah, so he basically described Tyrone as this kind of a fat dwarf in his description, kind of a small fat dwarf with less caring for the country, more caring for his own personal gain, and that is why he controls the supplies for the army, because it's like for dwarves, for these dwarves specifically, they want to earn more money and to gain higher power for themselves. So yeah. And
when he finishes, I'm like, So what you're telling me is hypothetically, if someone were to say, tell them that they were going to take the weapons off their corpses because they want to fetch or want to charge such high prices for their shitty wares. That might be considered messing with them. Purely hypothetical.
Well, if
I'm asking for a friend, by the way.
if said someone, this friend of yours did said that to, well, Walrus in the face, his corpse will be likely found in the morning under the trenches. Well, if
Good thing
not
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, if not today, maybe a couple of days later. The dwarves, they hold grudges, man. They hold grudges like none.
I don't know. I've just.
I mean, hypothetically, we've done dumber. Like, this isn't new.
Yeah.
I also told him that the Lord Knox was a good friend of mine and wasn't going to sick the town guard on them.
Yeah,
Or, sorry, set up more sentries around their
well,
place.
Nice. Tali leans over for a high five. Like, that was a good line.
yeah, that is not really the best option. You see, Knox is he already has multiple target on his back. I mean, when he was selected, the dwarves and gnomes, they all hated him for, well, being a human. I mean, it's not the fault.
Humans are horrible.
No, but it's more like they never get a chance to.
I look at Riviani when I said, I'm like, present company excluded. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you meant.
Yeah.
If he's hated that much, how did he get elected? That's a lot of
No,
people.
because the foundation of the town is.
He's the city guard, he's military, not politician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but changing that is a big power move.
He's
If
a
someone
folk
replaces
hero.
him unpopular, that's huge for them.
Yeah, he's a folk hero, and he's got the votes from the Adventurers Guild. He's also got the votes from vast peoples who resides in here.
Good friends with the bishop.
Yeah, and he's also that's rather a good point. Maybe actually he once traveled with the royal families as well. Like I said, he's a well-connected person. However, grudges there are still grudges to be held. People are still, well, especially the dwarves and the gnomes. They think the gnomes are simple. They just want more voices, and they just want to be able to experiment something in the publics. So, which is banned because some of their crafts are not yet well established, and it tends to cause explosions, dramatic, like stuff happens. So that is why they are banned to, well, crafts items directly on the street, but they can sell. Like, they can definitely sell the stuff they are making. However, those stuff are usually have flaws, this or that, and it may cause customers' life. So the like I said, the gnome hates him for not being one of their own elective, and the dwarves hates him as well because he kind of suppressed the gang. Like, you see, Tyrone can't officially claim that he has anything to do with the gang. Like, we all know, like, and for us middle peoples, we all know that they work for him, but they can't say, because no one will really hear their voices. That's why we all love Knox so much, because he is cracking down the gangs, making the crimes here better. Yeah, the crime rate here drops, and yeah, people are safer. But for the dwarves, it means they have lesser chance to, collect protection money, and they have lesser chance to, force the artisans, the skilled artisans, to join them. Though they're composed 90% of the dwarf, but the 10% are not joined willingly. most of them are either under the dwarf's thumbs or just work for them for free. I mean,
I understand what that feels like. It's not fun.
yeah, it is.
But it also means that they are a good populace to turn against them.
Doesn't seem fun at all, no.
Yeah, but he's got the money, he's got the power, and well, he's one of the council members. Ironically. Anyway, yeah. And then there's I should probably tell you guys more about the gangs, so you don't mess with the wrong side of the gangs.
This is us. We're going to get it very wrong, but it's nice to know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, so
I'm assuming he's looking right at me, and I'm like,
yeah, he's looking directly into your eyes.
I'm sort of glancing at Vaikin as well.
All right, so
do I have something on my face? Like,
yeah. All right, he sighs, and then he says, "So the peculiar bunch of the mercenaries, they are not. I wouldn't say people like rule them as gangs, but I wouldn't really call them that. The sin eaters, they're not really interested in collecting money, like do the muscle and like harass people. There are more there are more of these outcasts that are because of their origin are like shunned by our people here. So their leader is one Roland Lockhart. He's the gunslinger type, and he is also a revenant. So you can see why he's not being liked here. Like, most of his crew members consist of vampires, werewolves, abominations, fallen Asmire, such as you. That is why, yeah, they're not really exactly welcome. Oh, and the goblin. Yeah, right. But they are good allies if you ever need them to search for lost treasures. They're sort of like treasure hunter type. But yeah, just in any case, if you run into them, don't just yell and scream and attack them, because they'll be forced to attack. They'll be forced to defend themselves, and I don't want to see you all die tragically. Yeah, and there's that. League of the
not my
Ferocious.
fault.
Yeah, I know. All right, so yeah, the Jasper spawn. They're like just a merry band of street performers and traveling bards. However, they are more discreet. Like, if you don't, just being a decent person and just approach them, they'll be nice to you. However, don't ever mess with them in any wrong way, like calling out their names or being rude to them. Because we suspect there are a dozen of, well, cases that's been associated with them. They don't exactly take monies or do anything, but they are more like these sort of like traveling bands with tricks under their sleeves. So yeah. And the League of the Ferocious. So yeah, so the Shadow
Any
Clan,
idea who the leader is there?
the League is one lady.
For jesters?
Oh, for their jesters?
You said the League of...
Yeah, the League of the Ferocious. Their leader is... Yeah. Their leader is one lady named Madame Venom. We don't really know what her real name is, but there are these crowds consist of weird creatures as well as druids who, as long as you don't like randomly run into their territory while they're celebrating for their praising for their gods, or basically just or disturb the nature, you'll probably not mess with them in any way, shape, or form. However, they do hate the lifestyle in here in Lux.
I like them.
To them, it's like it's not natural per se. For them, it's not the way to be lived as a nature should. So yeah. All right.
I like them.
There's all that, and of course, you don't mess with the bastions. You don't mess with the royal families. That's our common sense. So yeah. Well, I assume you guys are having all the knowledge. So yeah.
I sort of mentioned like, well, Tali's technically in the royal family, right? Like, I guess she doesn't have as much to worry about then, huh?
It
Olivia
literally
just leaps out and says, "Yeah, she's with me," and
Yeah,
she proudly
Ali's-
shows the royal symbols of the family. Just like, yes.
for some reason I'm like, all of a sudden it's like, what? When did you get married while we were apart? Like,
yes,
I don't
Vaikin.
understand.
Yes, I did.
It's like,
It's a wild run.
finally someone said yes,
Yes.
Mhm.
and I wasn't invited. Like,
Yeah.
It was a whirlwind thing. I
I
couldn't
even
find
have a
you.
suit on order. Okay,
Excellent.
just like,
we do
what
need
about
formal.
that? I'm like,
that's-
about that. Anyone else have any formal attire?
9
Just
just
looking around.
looks and
Not
says,
so much.
I have a few clothing I can borrow from Father Dwayne, and you guys can go shopping if you like. I mean,
I was gonna say, your dad has dresses.
no, Father Dwayne.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, from
Father
the
Dr-
Father.
Father Dwayne's a cross-dresser.
No.
Sorry,
It's a house with many people coming
it's
through.
Faerun.
Yeah. No, it's more like 9 just kind of laughs for a bit and just says, no, it's because he will need. As a traveler, I don't have the magical items, a bag of holding like you do. So yeah, it's unlikely I'll be carrying anything formal with me, because my backpack is limited. So yeah.
So I'm like rooting through my bag, and I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull out the what is it? Invitation to the Court of Serenity.
Oh.
I'm like, I have an invitation here. I was told that we should definitely go because there's this person called Bishop, and I'm like racking my brain.
Yeah.
Lorenza.
Yeah, Lorenzo.
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
No, I'm like in character. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not right. Because the name's just kind of Lorenzo. That sounds right.
That will be Bishop Lorenzo. Yeah. He's
No, I don't think it's that. Just,
Okay.
oh, maybe. Okay,
Maybe.
whatever. And I'm like, I was told that he's supposed to be, and I don't even remember if it's a he. This cleric is supposed to be really powerful and maybe able to help
Yeah,
remove
he's
the curse poison.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
the
really?
And a few other things.
Phenomenal. Excellent with everything.
he's the
Yes,
high
that's
priest
fantastic,
of
Vaikin.
Lathander. So yeah, I would assume he's got that kind of power to, you know.
Awesome. And would anyone here, just out of academic curiosity, know if the Silver Council's chairman would also be in attendance and who they are and what they're like?
Oh,
Just
yeah, I just described him to you. So that
Which
will
one
be-
is he?
A silver council member will be Tyrone.
Tyrone, and he will be in attendance.
Yeah, this is like a royal event. It's
I mean,
mandatory.
some people have other things that clash, but oh boy.
Okay,
Yeah.
with a 10 on insight, my money's on. It's probably your new husband. Who you're talking
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So
dear.
9 just kind of looks at you guys and says, well, I think you guys deserve some sort of rest, and you guys all seem tired. Probably
And yeah, I
take
guess
off. Yeah.
I guess we're
It's
going
up to
shopping.
you.
I guess we're going shopping for formal wear somewhere. Well then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just go ahead. Remember to stay discreet. Just please don't rub the wrong side of the feather again. You know,
It's,
I look
it's gonna
when he
happen,
says
I'm
that.
sorry.
I
it
look
looks at
Riviani, I'm
you,
like-
Viking, again. Like this time.
you need to
staring
stop starting
basically.
things. Just like not cool.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Me?
We're not going to talk about this right now. Just like no.
You're one to talk.
Yeah. You know what? He looks onto the back and just tries to call. He just like, Father Dwayne, are you in there? And there's silence. No one seems to be in there. He's like, all right, I will accompany you guys out. Just remember not to do anything rash. Yeah. So, for the potion, as Tali gave the potion to Lavinia, her breath, like, it was shallow and it was seems like almost she's about to, like, just be like gone for any second. Once the potion is down, she looks like there's kind of a blue crackling energy kind of expanded on her body and like repels the pale dark energy that was covered all across her face and her body. Yeah, it kind of makes her able to breathe like normal again. So you think the potion probably kicked in, yeah, to make her feel better.
That's amazing. The relief is overwhelming, and Tali points it out to Althea. She's like, hey,
He's like,
you all right?
yeah. Althea is like, thank Raven Queen for not claiming a soul this early. Well, I'm a little bit tired. I don't. Also, I need to think of the incidents that just happened to you. So I need to figure it out. And
I mean, really, it's fine. I wouldn't stress about it, Ali. It's okay.
yeah, it doesn't feel okay to me.
Yeah, I guess I'm a hypocrite. I'd be, yeah, but still, I get why I look like a threat.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. Especially, father should know better. He should have stopped mom from doing anything rash. But
I mean, people make mistakes. He might have been busy. It's
might have, maybe.
yeah, because there's a whole festival going on. You guys, like, this is a huge undertaking. That takes up most of someone's time.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I don't think I'll be going out for the rest of the evening. As you guys return, it's almost at about 5 in the afternoon. So yeah, 5 or 6 in the afternoon. So yeah, Althea just says I'll probably stay to think this through. Yep.
Okay, if I got, I'm gonna pick you up anything.
I'll be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we got all what we need here. So yeah, it's not a palace, but it's good. Yeah.
I like blurt out after being quiet for a while. I'm like, hypothetically, where would one dispose of a dwarven dead body?
9 just looks at you hard.
Tell you what. Do you know how many dwarven dead bodies I can fit in a bag of holding? Just like I'm asking for a friend.
But King?
I would say none, and you
Challenge
probably
accepted.
shouldn't do anything rash. But
I don't have a rash.
But if you truly find yourself in a dilemma,
No hesitation.
No one tells you this. you just heard it from a random source, but the Sky Bridge seems like a good place to dump whatever it is.
I'm writing that down. Skybridge is a good place to dump a dead body. Skybridge. And I like my character is literally writing like
Yeah, and then
like
source 9.
Yeah, and I probably should. All right, you guys probably haven't seen the whole. Let me find the map, and he just like starting to search through his inventory, trying to find this map of the city, and yeah. All right, so here's the map. He just puts the map down to place and just says, all right, so here's what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at. So, we are, sorry if I made a really crappy map, but anyway, we are now at the common ground where normal residents reside in. There's Sky Bridge linking all across the city, and yeah, so there's that.
This is the strangest city I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a weird floating city anyone has ever seen. On the side, we just visited. It's the Planar Observatory. That's the name of the entire place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and of course there's Arcadia in the mix, but there are also shrines, temples for individual worshippers or individual gods. Yeah, and the Solaris Citadel. It's where the Solaris family take hold. Silver Console is on the other side of the town, and then the Court of Serenity, where we will be going. Yeah, it's just right next to the Bastions. So yeah.
So, what kind of gods do they sort of worship in these parts?
Well, here they worship mostly the gods that are related to suns and life. Shantia, definitely.
I hate this place. As soon as he says life.
Yeah. Ignore me. Nice. All right. So Lathander, Raven Queen, is the is the Serenity's worship deities, and also there are some small worshippers that worship Mask, which is mostly the Thieves Guild. They don't really pose any sort of shrine or anything. For them, it's like they worship him in their own way. And then there's Ogma, and yeah, so yeah, Denier, the forest like Sylvanas and Maliki is not a really well received god or goddess around here. So yeah, that's about it. Maybe there's more I don't know about, but that's what I heard of. What they really put on tempo and anything.
Can I sort of make a check to know how much I know about Ogma? Actually.
Yeah, sure. You don't even wait. All right, go for Arcana check. Actually, you do.
Oh, okay.
Go for Arcana check to see. All right. I would say you have advantage because you've been traveling with someone who's kind of a warlock for the Ogma, and from
that's right. Yeah.
From your past knowledge,
I point to Tali like, you're a warlock?
Who? Did we ever travel with someone named a warlock? No. All right.
Yes, I, the completely magic allergic.
That makes sense. Why you go all psycho every once in a while?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're full of surprises today.
Yep,
Oh
we're learning
It's like,
so much.
Yeah. For Rennie, you recall that Ogma is from what Suits told you a long time ago. Ogma is the deity of knowledge who preserves and seeks to find all the knowledge there is to find in the multiverse. So yeah.
Yeah, I sort of got. Oh yeah, we used to show somebody who's a big fan of Agma, but
Who
yeah,
was,
he's
and then until he's gone. Yeah.
yeah yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to do?
Well, when Tali sort of has a sort of moment to herself, I sort of wanted to sort of go out there and sort of ask uh, speaking of like equipment and stuff, Tali, how's your sort of weapon situation going?
I got kitchen knives, and that's about it.
Kitchen
Because I do not want to use my baton when I am with friends.
I tried to get you
Oh,
weapons, but we need to kill some dwarves in order to get a better
I mean,
price.
I'm down to do that.
I know.
Absolutely down for that.
And Nine's probably just like staring at me.
Yeah, Nine just this time at this moment, Nine just kind of a give up look. Just sits there
yeah, it's going. Yeah, that's
Yeah, if we hadn't pissed off the resident weaponsmiths, I'd love to go shopping, but what can you do? What can you do?
yeah, that portal kind of disintegrated one of your glaives, didn't it?
It really did. That kind of sucked. But hey, better a glaive than us. So I mean, it was an object. It sucked, but
And but I guess it would be I guess it would be nice if you're able to get your hands on something on something special.
it'd
Steak knives.
be wonderful, dude. As Vaikin says that, I'm like, I miss my short swords so much. Oh man, steak knives are close. That'll work. I will make it work.
As I sort of file that away for later, I sort of sort of lean into sort of whisper to sort of hush whisper to her, sort of say, you were like joking about the whole being married thing, right?
yeah, no, I was just going with Vaikin. I mean,
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, stranger
Yeah.
things have happened. Honestly, I would have rather been married, and what I encountered was not dissimilar. I got pressured into a contract I didn't want to do.
Sounds like
Yeah,
marriage
well-
to me.
Yeah.
What happened with that though?
It's me. I ran afoul of the Thieves Guild as per usual. Gee, it's okay though. Like it's an easy solve, or so I hope. It'll be all right.
Depends
Well,
on what contract you signed, though. Did you make sure you read through the contract?
I did my best. I
No,
don't know
just
if they
ask you.
bought it. It's a find and retrieval mission. I just did my best to omit the return the object to them section of the contract.
Okay.
Well, I guess good luck with that then. I sort of say I sort of look like I have there's a lot of stuff on my mind, especially after what we just talked about.
Yes.
But,
Oh, God, enough about me. How did you find the city? What was the observatory like?
yeah, it was really cool. We did a bunch of zigzagging to avoid some people we think were following us, and then we went through
Well
the
done.
portal, and yeah, it just sort of start going on and on about the whole trip to the observatory and the cool stuff that was there, like the artificer stuff. and like how we met, like
I laugh.
Gus
Yeah, man, explosions. Ugh,
Mm,
part and parcel.
mm.
But that's awesome.
and they sort of were like, oh yeah, he asked for like a and I sort of like does Nine have like a needle thing that
He passed you the needle, which is already filled with the blood
Yeah,
samples of Lavania. Apparently, he took care of that when you guys are having the conversation.
thank you, I almost forgot about that, and yeah, I sort of show it to Tali, like yeah, he wanted a sample from Livonia so that he could sort of take a look at it and see if maybe he could find a solution on his own. But
anything to help is wonderful, and then it's also helpful to anyone else that gets inflicted by this as well. I'm all
We'll
for
have
it.
a proper solution for next time, if we ever so unfortunately.
There's going to be a next time. This is advice.
at least it'll be a this will be a backup plan in case something falls through with this cleric guy.
And if we could get some in advance in case we re-encounter Flash, because he's been quiet and he's been too quiet. It's nice to be here in Lux because there's no way that I can think of that he'd follow us. But
While they're talking, I'm sitting on the floor, like cross-legged, and I'm like starting to dump out my bags, just like roughly, just.
So
I'm like, I haven't been in
check.
a calm place
Yeah.
to go through it.
Nice.
And I'm like looking through the bag of holding, and I'm thinking of anything that I can give to Tali. And the only thing I can think of is a short bow and some poison arrows.
I mean, I'll take them.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'll give you a short bow and some. I have 7 poison arrows and 1 regular arrow.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me check the poison arrows. I think you already used 2. 1 or 2?
I've been marking it. I had 10 in total, so I'm at 7 right now.
Okay. So yeah, those
7.
are the drow poison arrows.
Super rapey poison is what I have it in.
Nice. All right.
And 1 regular arrow.
Okay.
I also have a sketch that like falls out, and I think it was from Suits. And I like open it thinking there's probably my gum inside or something. And like,
all right, roll me a wisdom. Say hey.
Oh no, it's that sketch.
Yep. All right.
21.
You repelled the intensity of the drawing you just saw at the first glance. Is like, oh shit.
Ew, it suits dick.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, this is the one.
No.
No, this is the one with the paper with weird inscriptions and all that gibberish nonsense. Well, at least to you, you found in the Wizard's Tower, I believe. It's like, yeah, no effects was taken upon you, but yeah, for now.
Huh. Good to know. Do I have any inclination of what was it trying to do?
No. You basically feel like your mind was about to be intruded, like someone trying to probe and dig inside your mind as you.
Was it when I read it or when I picked it up?
No, when the first glance you open up and you see the.
I neatly close it back up and like fold it, and I put it back into the bag of holding. I'm like, I have plans for you, my precious. Just like,
my precious. Yeah. Nice.
I also have some javelins and stuff, but I don't know if you really want to use javelins.
It's up to you.
Looking at Tali.
Yep, sorry, I'm filling out short bow. I will take literally anything. I'm using kitchen knives right now. Give me weapons.
Weapons. All right.
Do you want 4? Well, you already have a ranged attack, so just take 1.
Really? Yeah, I'll take 1 because I'll use the short bow until I run out.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah, exchange of inventory, trying to find the stuff you have.
Does anyone need any healing potions?
I don't remember if I have one with me already.
I thought we divvied up healing potions last time we bought some.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I've already used mine. I think I had 2, and I've already used 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you
1 bottle of healing.
yeah.
Casey, you're the one that needs it the most. So I just use it in case you go down.
Yeah, I'll give you 1 more bottle of healing potion. And did you need one, Riviani?
One go amiss.
Okay, I'll give you 1 as well. They're just regular. I had 2 regular healing potions and 1 greater, so I've given away the 2 regular. And I tell you guys, I'm like, I have a super special one, and it's like slightly redder than the other ones. I'm like, this one's even better. I've already done it.
Okay.
I just haven't hit save yet.
Okay.
So, and I'm like, I dump out like a pile of coins, and it's like 1,607 gold coins, just like ding, 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 ding. Just a small pile.
Yeah, you heard as you poured down the inventory, especially the coins. You heard on the far side of the house, like kids, noise, kind of like that, and like.
I panic and then scoop it all up. I'm like
yeah,
that
like
fucking kid.
Like a bunch of kids just run past through the hall as you guys are having conversation, and one of the kids just accidentally peek inside and looks at you when you are scooping all the stuff together. He's like, "Hey guys, that dude is rich." And
I'm
everyone
like,
just go.
You would not be the first kid
Yeah,
I have
everyone
killed today. Just like, rah.
Yeah, the kids is like, "Ugh." Yeah, because you look. Yeah,
I'm pretty weak looking.
Yeah, you don't need a lot to intimidate kids, especially with your manner. You're like, the kids are like, yeah, good sir. Can we at least have one of sort? You got plenty.
Can I sort of try and take 1 coin and sort of toss it to them?
It's up to you. I don't know.
I'm like, I have a better plan. I'm like, would you be willing to fetch some goods for us, little kid?
Yeah, sure. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm
the
like,
boy just walks towards you. You now get a better look at him. The boys here looks well fed in comparison to the beggars on the streets. You don't see a lot of beggars, but there are still a handful of them. You think that Father Dwayne has done a decent job in keeping these kids safe and well fed and well educated, of course, because they look like they have certain decent manners. So yeah, the kid just walks up to you and says, So what can I do for you, sir?"
I'm like, I will give you 10 gold if you. And I'm like, yes.
He just gasps.
If
like,
you go,
but I
and
can't
acquire...
take that much, sir. I mean, Father Dwayne always taught us to be,
No. I'll give you 10 gold, but I need you to go and buy a few things, and you keep the change.
Oh, okay. So what do you have in mind? I mean,
I'm like, I need like 5 daggers.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. Kids, we're not allowed to purchase any weaponry on the streets. I mean, if you want to buy some food, I can help you with some clothes if you want to pick up. I mean,
a dagger's not really a weapon. It's more of a utility knife.
Oh, so you want a kitchen knife? Okay, I can try.
Sharp. And I looked at Tali. I'm like,
I can't help you here, pal. Like, there's nothing. Hey, kid, how about?
Okay.
Can you find an adult to help you?
Can you get liquor, kid?
I sort of nudge him in the ribs when he says like Vaikin.
I just imagine standing outside the blacksmith. Can you buy me some daggers? Come on. Case of daggers.
Yeah, like
it's okay if you like.
the
It's
kid
okay.
just kind of looks confused, looking at you and like, but
Listen, don't worry about it. Yeah, and I take the money from Vaikin. I give him 2 gold, and I go, "Thank you for trying."
oh,
It's like,
okay.
we will find someone else. This kid's gonna get shanked. Like you know it, right? Because I was gonna have to shadow him and pull him out as soon as the dwarves turned on him. That was going to happen.
What? All right.
Don't worry about it, kiddo. Get out of here.
Thank you, kind lady. And
It's
the
alright.
kid just took the money and just nod at one
Yeah.
of you and just run out.
I'm gonna mark 2 gold out of my personal funds, okay? But yeah, no,
I'm like just trying to get some.
it was a good play. It was a good one. We were gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
For
that
a
made
while
no
later,
versatile.
as you guys are having the conversation, the kid, the one you just sent away, brought back a full plate of food. That are it's like a decent plate of food. It's like mashed potatoes, boiled eggs, and stuff like that. Yeah, they eat like they don't eat. Well, the food are not that great, but it's like decent enough to both nutrition wise and flavor wise. It's decent enough to eat. And the kid just put it down and just says, "Thank you, kind lady. That's 1 gold pieces back to you, and yeah, I'll keep the change, and
Are you sure, kiddo? You can have it. It's all right.
it's okay. We should work for our supper. That's what Father Dwayne taught us. Yeah, and
It's a good work ethic, but also I raise a counter to this. You don't know when the money's going to go away. Keep it. Hang on to it in case of emergency.
oh,
All right.
okay.
Does the kid look malnourished?
Well, not exactly. It's more like
Like skinny?
no, it's more like he's had a rough life before. You can tell by his size. He's about 5 or 6, but he looks a little bit paler a little bit. However, Father
He's
Dwayne,
not mine, is he?
No.
When you
of
say
course
pale, he's not
yeah.
mine.
Did you bang any ladies in this? Oh, sorry. That
I
came
don't
wrong.
remember being here.
Vaikin has even been here. That's
Entirely wrong. Sorry, I'm
Just
sorry.
like
But yeah, no.
pale is my telltale color, you know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the kid looks in a good spirit, so probably Father Dwayne did an awesome job in keeping them safe and fed.
I was gonna give him, like, if the kids need food, I have like 24 pounds of fish. In the back
I don't know, man. I don't know. You can try.
I'm like, pull out like a pound of fish. I'm like, we can eat fish, just like,
fish? The kid just looks at you and is like, did you say fish? We can use some fish. It's really hard to get fish up here.
I'll give him 4 pounds of fish. Just like, I give him like, I pull out one. I'm like, hold on. Just like pull out another one.
Yeah,
hold
like,
on, and the kid can like
Father.
barely.
Yeah, the kid just like putting the plate up like this. It's like, yeah, there's empty plates underneath. He was gonna use that to distribute you guys, and like, he runs back to the kitchen. He's like yelling, Father Dwayne, we got fish. Yeah.
As soon as I hear that, I look around and I'm like, hoping Cora's not seeing this because she'll fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Like,
Cora's not around.
whew.
Which is weird because usually when you bring out the fish, she'll be out.
And I've called for her earlier,
Yeah.
so something's up.
Something's up.
Mental note.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. As you guys look around and distribute, what were you gonna say? Sorry. Tali?
It's okay. I was just going to tell the kid if he really desperately wanted to give the money back to me, give it to the father, and so it
Okay.
could always go into the house.
Yeah, he left the coin on the table. Yeah, he definitely took you gave him 2. He definitely took 1 of them, and buy the stuff. You will think that these kind of food it doesn't really cost that much, so he definitely kept his change, but he also gave you back the extra amount.
Tali's also really grateful to be staying here. Like, it's literally saved the life of her family. So she's like, I'll find a way to give them the money.
All right. So
Alright, take it away.
yeah, do you guys still want to go out, or
If we want to go formal shopping,
it's up to you?
Found a really nice gnome.
Yeah.
A little on the expensive side. You know, dwarves are assholes in this place. In most places, Underdark, they're a bunch of assholes. I'm just starting to think that I need to put them on my list.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
We have been unlucky. A party would be nice. A party in decent formal wear would be amazing.
Tonight, tomorrow, I'm up for going whenever.
I look at the invitation. I forgot to ask when it was.
When?
Just like,
It was like the day after tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the day after tomorrow, so we have a little bit of time.
That's good, because that also gives me time to scope out the Silver Chairman's house. Oh my goodness.
I could help you with that. I'm very good at stealth.
That'd be
And as I say that, my entire armor just goes jungle.
Yep.
You sure about that?
Not so much stealth, but a distraction at the front of the house. Like, I need you at the party, and then I'm also
I'm not good at distractions. I say that so sarcastically.
Yeah, right. You're not good at distraction.
I was just looking at you like, and I suck at stabbing things. Well, that's actually kind of true sometimes. But so if we would also like to deal with the blacksmith middleman problem, that can help.
9 just right now, just like, not you two.
9, what else are we going to do?
Well, we can parlay with him. You know, we can discuss a certain way with Tyrone. He's not an unreasonable dwarf. He's just...
Yeah, you nearly got murdered by him, 9. Would you like to revise this statement?
Well, that'll be words, but as a middleman, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to cause further problems for the city. It's been harsh enough nowadays.
That's fair. Yes, what's going on? What was Nox's announcement? I missed it because I was off getting into trouble. What's going on?
9 looks at Viking as well. Like, did he announce anything?
I forgot to ask. I'm like, I
There was
know the thing got canceled, but I can't remember why.
He never really tell you why, though. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like...
I know he hates the lords and stuff, like the casters, because they think they're... You would get along with him.
Yeah.
And I looked at Tali. I'm like, he does not like spellcasters, you know.
Excellent.
I totally changed subject.
Like, yeah, but like, I'm just like, this is definitely the city god is appealing to me, and I'm looking at Althea because I'm like, see, look, we're fine, right?
I was like, well,
He has a small armory in his office in case we need something. Very nice armor. Just
He has offered us use of this armory. Oh my goodness!
I don't know about
Like,
you.
us or just you? If you are in there, can you get me things to stab with?
I don't know about use, but I'm just reallocation.
Yeah, there's definitely a pair of decent daggers inside. You saw quite a
There
couple
was daggers.
actually. Yeah.
He had this fetish. He was like had a hard on for my my sword. He did tell me that the cleric or the bishop can improve it. But I don't know. It was weird. The sword also wanted me to kill all those gnomes earlier, so I think we should go with the gnome killing route. And it's not me being evil or anything; it's the sword.
I have a talking baton. I'm not one to like. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
and the sword, like, I touch it, I'm like, okay, kill everybody. Oh! It's like the only obvious that I'm like.
Yeah, but I'm just like.
How about we go with the non-killing option unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
Finally, a reasoning voice in this group. I mean, Nine
Besides,
looks at
besides, I'm
you,
sure,
just like,
I'm sure Tali doesn't hate all spellcasters. Look
Oh
at me.
God,
I
no!
sort of,
But I
I sort of
just,
say as I like hook an arm up
Just all human.
around Tali's
Just
sleeve.
I've just run afoul of so many. Magic has continued to screw me over, but no, get it. You're right. You're right. I just.
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a bad run of it. But and yeah, next time we see Nox, I can buy weapons off him. We will be fine. I will stop. Finally getting in trouble. Maybe get out ahead of this for once.
Nice. Nine just looks at you and like,
Mine, I
yeah,
got stabbed by my own
it's
family
like-
today.
Yeah, I know. Wait, what? You never really
Yeah.
tell the story though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I sort of
what?
like, wait, what as well?
I mean, it's almost certainly mistaken identity, but like that's just the kind of runs we've had today.
I
You did
know.
mention that before.
Yeah, and I
Are
don't
you
really
okay?
want any more trouble on our back.
No, yeah.
When
Hence
you say-
why I'd like to resolve this immediately.
When you said this is the type of day we've had, I'm like, I had a great day. I went and got a little drunk, I had a social drink with Commander Knox.
Yeah.
1 or 2 gallons, and then and then I'm like, I think I went shopping,
You want something?
intimidated some dwarves, told them I would show them my balls, and then
Yeah, and let's revisit that one.
and then I'm like,
Yeah,
this
I
is a nice
wouldn't.
day compared to most. Let's be honest, I haven't killed anybody yet. Nothing tried to kill me.
I gotta give you that one. I gotta give it to you.
But you
I sort of
messed with
under my breath, like,
dwarves.
I hope it stays that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Our standards are real low, Riviani. It's.
I just want to note the day's not over.
Yeah, it's about 5 in the afternoon. Oh, well, after your conversation, it's about 6.
I think we should go out.
or something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right,
I'm
so
down for some formal shopping if everyone else is.
Come on.
Yes.
all right, so you guys walk.
Literally.
Yeah, you guys walk out of the streets,
And
and
I'll take Tali by the arm and sort of like follow her.
Mhm.
This
All
is
right.
gonna be amazing. And we're
So-
gonna get like secret pockets sewn into your outfits for secret weapons. It's
Nice.
gonna be wonderful.
Nice. So you guys went on to shopping spree. Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Yes.
Which direction do you go? Do you go to the market?
Back alleys.
Yeah.
Everything dark.
Okay.
Just kidding. No, just
Yeah. Yeah. I got something else in the back alleys if you want. I mean,
no.
which direction do
for-
you want to go?
Looking for a fight. No. I'll try and retrace my steps to the
To the clothes
tailor or
store.
whatever.
Okay, to the tailor store. All right, so you walk back up. You see the tailor store outside is like the man is the gnome is almost closing the shop. You see on the top of the store just like starting to close. What would you like to do?
I'm like, oh hey, I don't remember your name.
Lisa!
Sorry, it took longer to get back.
Don't worry.
Oh, I would have healed Tali, by the way, before we left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't look like a wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Yeah, I don't
blood all
want
over
them
the
still
new
bleeding
clothes.
all over their dress or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. How much were you down?
I'm down by 21. No, 19.
19. Okay, you take 19 on lay of hands.
Thank you.
23, so 4 points left.
All right, Sus. I do see you accompany yourself with 2 fine ladies. Ladies, what can I get you?
We're actually looking for something a little formal.
He said you found him something nice.
Yeah, don't worry, Don't worry, ladies. Old Gunter will find you something nice. And
That dress that I had earlier, I'm like, is this my color? And I like hold it up to me.
yeah, it's totally Vikings color. It's dark and gray.
It
silver
actually
lining
is.
trimmings,
It's like,
yeah.
Tali's like, damn, that's actually a really good color combination.
Yeah. So Gunter.
I'm disappointed. I heard nothing out of Riviani. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to keep
Riviani's
looking.
like, nope. No,
I would sort of say like, oh, that would, I'll admit that looks like it would look pretty nice on you, actually.
I imagine anything like Grim Reaper hood would look good on me, just robe wise.
Maybe. Yeah.
I've already picked out what I need, ladies.
Oh, you need to try on these boots.
Oh, right,
sure.
yeah, boots.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm like looking
with
for
your socks.
fancy socks.
Yes. Yeah, you put them on. It's quite a comforting feeling for a long, long time. You've been traveling for a few more weeks than you.
With the 22, I was able to kind of like moonwalk a little bit. It was great.
Yeah,
it was these two.
Yeah, you just ease into the boots. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so
These feel so worn in. Are you sure this didn't come off a corpse? Like, just kidding.
Don't worry.
Taking it back.
Yeah, don't worry. If it comes up for a corpse, it'll probably be a dragon skin. But we do offer that kind of tailoring. However, that will cost you a little bit extra. Yeah.
I'm good. It's good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay. So, for Tali, the Gunter brought out a nice looking long dress that has like kind of a small sparkling you're not sure diamonds that are across the shoulder parts. Yeah. And it's like a long trimmed line to fit your outfit. So yeah. It doesn't really allows you to kick and punch though. It's a really formal wedding, not wedding, sorry.
But yeah, like
a banquet kind of outfit. So yeah, but it looks.
I
really
tend
nice.
to.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous. Do you have anything, or can you make any modifications to allow me to move a little bit more freely?
Let me think of it. We do have a certain outfit that are designed to move freely. However, those are trimmed with the raven feathers. Usually we presented them to the royal families as sort of like a matching outfit. I'm not sure if it's. Maybe I can trim off the feathers.
It sounds beautiful. If you could, that would be marvelous.
And he go inside. You heard kind of crafting sound, like tailors using scissors or using the sewing machine to try to sew stuff up. For about 30 minutes later, he brought out sort of like a semi-suit outfit. You still got the nice skirts on the side, but it definitely has paired with long socks. I'm not sure how you call it in outfit, but yeah, it does allow you to maneuver a little bit freely. Yeah.
Tali's gonna try. I'm gonna drop into fighting stance, crescent kick. Hold it again.
All right,
spinning kick. How am I doing?
You do kicking. You'll try a little bit hard to cover, to make it. The layer of the dress allows you to kick, but you would try to remember not to kick way too high in order to expose yourself. So yeah. Yeah.
Tali's always wearing bike kits underneath everything. She's not cat.
Yeah, it's like making it so the dress allows you to hide your pants underneath, so it's fine if you want to pair with that. But Gunter doesn't really do because usually he makes dressing. You can tell.
I'm used to sewing modifications in my own kit. So I'm like, this is fine.
Yeah. Okay. So he presented the outfit to you. I hope you do like it. and I'm sorry if I can't do any more. I still have to maintain a certain standard for our dresses. So
Of course. It's
yeah.
magnificent.
All right.
I like.
For you, young lady, he turns to you, Riviani.
Oh.
What would you like?
I I honestly, I don't think I've ever really worn a formal dress before, but um,
Don't worry, we'll find you something. You seem like this spell casting type. Let me
well,
check.
yeah, if
He
you
just
could say that, yeah.
yeah, he just he rubs his eyes and looks around the shelves. You do notice that on top of the shelf there is a dress that he picked, and he just like use the ladders to go up top of the shelves and drag it down. It's like, I had a customer for a few years ago ordered this dress in a token to give it to his daughter, to give it to her daughter. Sadly, the customer never returns, and I just feel like you got the same size as she depicts, so maybe put this on.
Uh, uh, well, I guess if she's, guess if, I guess it's okay if she doesn't really need it anymore. Then,
I don't think she would. She actually left a letter within the dress to anyone who would, uh, pick up the dress one day. She did said if she's left it too long for over a year, it's open market. So, yeah. Go ahead.
all right, let's see it then.
Okay. The dress is like a well-trimmed robe of a mage lined with red inlaid with reddish colors and a golden outtrim of the rim of the robe. Yeah. And there are runes carved on it. It's not, you don't think it's entirely functioning because some of the trimming lines, it looks misplaced, maybe, but it does look really mystique in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, I started going, ooh, let's see, and yeah, I sort of try it on, and I sort of do a few like experimental like twirls.
Okay. As you move around, you can feel the dress, the robe fits you entirely, and as if you are completely comfortable to maneuver. However, the dress does has its limit. So once you put on the hood, it's a little bit bigger than you expected. So once you put on the hood, it's making it slightly harder for you to see clearly. It doesn't obscure your vision entirely, but like the long hooded robes, sometimes the trim is way too long. Sometimes in a different angle, it might obscure your sight. But beyond that, the robe feels amazing.
Yeah, I sort of looked at Tali while like the hood is still sort of on, and like uh how do I look?
I know it was made by this lady for her daughter, but I swear, Ravenny, it looks like it was made for you. And I'm like, I pull her hood back a little bit and I pin it just so it's not going to fall in her eyes. I turn to the tailor. What was the name of the woman that made this? I'd love to look up her family.
It's one lady. Hold on, I think it's in her letters. Yeah, and he pulled out the piece of a letter, and you see on the letter just handwriting. To whoever received this dress, this was one of the piece I made for my daughter to celebrate of her coming of age and coming up to this new Wonder City. And I wish her everything well with her, and continue on her path to search for the truth. And and the signature initiate is RM.
I pipe up. I'm like, "You look marvelous, my dear." And I'm like, when I turn around, I'm wearing like the most ridiculous feather woman hat. Just like
the peacock hat. It's like everything's just like, "You look marvelous." Yeah.
That hat, Vaikin.
I
Yes.
would advise against that hat, sir.
I start to get torn away from reading the letter. I start laughing at Viking's hat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotta ask, my cloak matches what I'm buying, right?
Your trench coat definitely matches what you're buying with the boots and
No, my
the
like
socks.
cape and cloak. You know
Yeah, definitely. You think that Gunter must have like scanned through, like I said, he has a good pair of eyes and he found the right clothing for you. Yeah. So yeah, is that all? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I sort of got I'll definitely take the ropes. How much do I owe you?
For the dress of the sir, of this fine sir, it will be, let me check, 150 gold pieces. And for this young elf lady over here, it will be, let me check, counting the modification, it'll be 150 as well. Yeah. So, for you, my lady, you don't need to pay for a thing. The lady who ordered this dress already pay up. So yeah.
Oh, really?
For sure. So you guys just have to pay me 300 gold pieces and we're done.
Well, I suppose I'll have to thank her if I ever meet her, huh?
Yeah, of course. And if you ever find who wrote this letters and he passed the letter to you, and just like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could keep the letter by any chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank
Those
you.
are her specific words.
No further details aside from her initials. There's 100 people that could have those. Riviani has those initials. Like,
well, she does.
she's clearly not reported.
Yeah, she does. Said her daughter was an arcane user, or one day will be. Which
Again, many of those kinds of people.
Sorry for old Gunter's memories. It's been quite a long time.
That's
all
alright.
I can tell is she smells like roses. That's all. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Not usually specific, but I'll work with it. Thank you.
I got a keen nose. All right. Thank you and have a good evening. And you're always welcome to come back.
I'll take the money out of party funds.
Okay. All right.
And he's been good to us, so I'm guessing it's probably not worth trying to wheel and deal him down.
No, yeah, I wanna.
So
One positive relationship we have with the shopkeeper.
yeah,
Yeah.
Let's not risk that right now.
Yeah.
when he was talking to Riviani, I go over to Tali. I'm like, could you stab somebody with those shears, like the tailoring shears that he has?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, maybe we need to get you like a token weapon of, just like.
Yes.
I'm just gonna start asking random shit whether or not she can stab people with.
With random
Vaikin,
stuff.
if you gave me a pencil, I would stab someone with it. This
What
isn't
is
a difficult game.
No, just kidding. Yeah, that's nice. So you guys basically finished shopping, and I assume
Deducted out of party funds.
Yeah.
Done.
uh,
300 gold.
nice. So are you guys going anywhere else, or is that it?
When we're outside, I'm pretty much just like sort of reading the letter over and over again, and eventually I sort of get this sort of like distant sort of look as I sort of contemplate the implications of the letter and the initials at the end.
Mm-hmm. All right. Roll me.
Riviani
and-
starts to space, and I catch her from walking into something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll me an investigation check.
I put all of the packages in the bag of holding, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the safest bet.
Nice.
Like all of the fancy clothes.
All right. You can't really tell from just the initials or stuff. Those stuff combined together does make you feel like familiar, but there could be 100 other people's who, yeah, not everything is connected. Probably not. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I sort of just like say out, which is kind of like, sorry, I was distracted with this whole thing, and
It's okay. It's been a busy day.
I know RM could mean anybody. I just can't help but thinking maybe there's some connection. I don't know if there is. See,
It is rather serendipitous. I mean, they are your initials as well. It's
yeah.
if it
I'm
gives you comfort, I don't see why not.
I'm like, you never know who it could be. It could be you. It could be like, and I'm starting to think of the most ridiculous names, like
It could be a
Romanov
time traveling
Mongoose.
you. It could be a time traveling you, like we've already encountered that. How wild would that be? Oh, can you imagine?
RM
The-
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Probably.
I sort of give Tali this sort of look, and I sort of like for more like think about it, and I sort of just like, yeah, that'd be a bit much.
It would be, but you did time travel to an alternate future universe. Why not to the past to give yourself a dress?
Mhm.
If I could do that, I would.
I would give you a dagger or,
a
A
pair
butter
of
knife.
daggers when you are in need. Yeah.
Mhm.
knitting needles. Just
It's the perfect setup. Exactly when you need it, you get the thing that's
Mhm.
perfect.
just hide daggers everywhere, all around Faerun. You're like,
Oh,
oh my god, I lost my
Yeah.
dagger. Oh, there's another one. Just like,
It would be Winter's Crest every
Yeah,
day.
every day.
Oh,
All right. Anything else you want to do before you head back?
is there anywhere else we can go here that won't end up with us murdering or
You see
Getting
several
murdered?
taverns along the way. You can always go and have a drink. It's up to you.
I look at him like, the last time you need to hold your liquor, and I'm like telling Tali, last time you got drunk, you got
yeah. I'm not touching alcohol tonight, but I would like to see what the people think about Knox's announcement, and a tavern would be a
Alright.
great place to go.
You find this rusty iron inn, and like it's like it does say rusty, but it looks brand new. And when you walk inside, a lot of customers are drinking, and like most of them you can hear are complaining about the policy that just the postpone of the festival just issued. You see dwarves, dragonborns, and human being sat on one table playing cards and like just muttering about how this unfortunate event has caused their business. So you assume that they are. What is this? All right. Let me just finish the
I'm
sentence.
specifically
Yeah.
doing it for the dwarves that I know of,
Okay.
the Iron Forge shitheads. So that's a 16.
Okay.
So,
You
continue.
don't see any iron forge. Well, they don't wear their clang.
No, but I
token
have seen
on the
about
shoulder,
half
yeah.
a dozen of them so far, right?
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. So, what did you do? I would like to ask. What did you do?
No, I'm just looking around to make sure that I'm not going to get jumped.
Oh, you are using performance, so I was like, okay.
Oh shit! No, I
was like,
perception.
do you want to flash your stuff to
Sorry.
the...
I like burst open with like ta-da! No, sorry.
No.
See, that kind of distraction. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So for Riviani, you look around. You see the bartender just scrubbing the glasses, as well as the people are just chatting and talking, and yeah, that's mostly it. You heard that they're complaining about, like I said, complaining about postponing the festival. Usually, people are just being whiny, but there are a few that are still like the heated discussion of them kind of escalated and soon kind of broken into like a fist fight. However, the fist fight didn't last really long as all the others just like kind of step away. So those two kind of like exchange a few rounds and they're like, all right, fine, let's just... The bartender just looks at him and just like shakes his head. And they all just sat back in a gloomier state, like, oh, fuck, why do we even fight each other? It's like,
for my entertainment.
yeah, it's
I
like
jump
they're
up on a
all in
bar stool.
depression. Yeah.
What's the story there?
The bartender just looks at you and says, what else can it be? I mean, festival postponed means business got postponed. Business got postponed means like shipments got postponed, and one thing leads to another, just like dominoes. I mean,
that sucks. Any idea why it got postponed? That seems like a bad idea.
I don't know. Nox is usually the wise guy. He knows better. Well,
I sort of asked, like, what's this? What is this festival that everyone seems to be talking about?
oh,
I sort of asked, like, sorry, I'm actually new here, so like,
okay.
I don't really.
We got a lot of newcomers in town. Don't worry about it. So the Gemini Festival, and then he started describing about the sovereigns, how they founded. They found this place, and then they kind of formed and built the entire kingdom with, themselves and helps from adventuring teams alongside of them. Yeah, and then he ended the sentence with, so in celebrating for the king's effort, we picked this day for the Gemini Festival, the day they first landed in this what used to be a wild land that's free roaming monsters and everything. Yeah. Even
when
nowadays,
I hear free roaming monsters, I perk up like, ooh.
Yeah, even nowadays we occasionally got a lot of, monstrosities roaming around. And he lowered his voice at the moment and says, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the werewolves, the were creatures, those who were in here, they were once the descendant of these monstrosities. At least that's what we heard. I mean, and then their like large group of them left. The rest of them kind of joins the side with the sovereigns. So yeah, that's why we get the gangs. They are somewhat annoying, but they serve their purpose, I guess. So that's the whole story
Every
of the
city
festival.
needs the shadows. Who is the biggest gossip in this bar? I'm dying to know why this got cancelled, and someone has to have heard something.
Well,
Something this big doesn't get by on quiet.
between you and me, I would say. And he looks around and he points discreetly at one of the halfling over the table who's still gambling with a dragonborn with cards and like dices on the table, and apparently the halfling is winning. You can judge by just how big of a pile of gold that's on the halfling side and just barely anything else on the dragonborn side. And he's like, yeah,
Thank you. I'll make my way over to them.
And yeah, so you move your way towards him, and yeah, you find this halfling just with a crossbow on the table, just as a token of saying, "Don't mess with me." And yeah, a dice on the other side, and he's having quite a fun of his life actually, watching the Dragonborn sweat and breaking down. The Dragonborn is like, he looks at the halfling, looks at his card, and looks at the halfling again. The halfling is like, yeah, I got the biggest number here. If you don't trust me, trust the money you just lost. And the Dragonborn just looks at him and looks at his card again and is like, oh, fine, I'll fold. And halfling just dumps the card right in front of him. It's a really small pair of cards. It's like, I won, jackass. Yeah, and he scrapes the money to his table. The Dragonborn is like, fuck you. And just like about to slam the table. The halfling just raised the crossbow and is like, just not even looking at the Dragonborn, but one hand is like scraping the stuff, the other hand with the crossbow, and says, manners. Dragonborn's like, let's see if you'll get lucky next time. And he just like walks away. Yeah.
I turn to the halfling. Masterfully done. I thought for sure he was going to take your head off.
Butters me up. Is that they need something or they want something? Sadly. Well, depends on what you have to offer to Frederick.
I'm gonna put a gold on the table and just pick up the cards for no particular reason. Like, I'm not playing a game. But I just look at him and go, I hear you're the best person to ask questions.
Yeah, everyone knows Frederick Goldfinger is the best in town to know all secrets. But that's beyond the point. Why do you search for me? Do you wish to purchase any sort of information?
I'm dying to know. This festival got cancelled. What's going on? What's so big that causes the event of the year to get shut down?
As you say that, he kind of looks up. He didn't stop collecting stuff. In fact, he expedite his speed in collecting the stuff, and he scraped all the money into his bag, and then just put it onto his pouch. You think that's also a bag of holding as well? Mm-hmm. And he looks at you and says, "Well, darling, that will take you more than just a couple of coins. If you want to know."
I do. What will it cost me?
1,000 gold pieces. He looks at you. Just
goodness.
Yeah.
Is it really that? It can't be worth that much, surely. You're having me for an absolute ride. Somebody's cocked up paperwork. There's no...
Well, if you don't trust old Frederick, you can always find someone else.
Fine. I will. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy swindling these people. I'll be interested to see the day someone gets jack of it.
I will.
Then I walk away.
Enjoying not knowing the secret might save your life, but
as she's talking,
my life isn't worth 1,000 gold, brother. Nice try.
So as she's talking to the table, yeah, I'm like over with the Dragonborn, and I'm like,
the Dragonborn is like,
I'm like, that's rough. I seen what happened. Let me buy you a drink, man. Like, I hate being swindled out of my mind. Did you not see?
Prick.
I'm like, did you not see him pocketing the cards? Like, I could see it a mile away.
He turns towards the halfling, like, you little prick, and just leaps over to the halfling. Halfling did not see this coming as
not
he
my
was
fault.
talking to Tali and just got slammed into the table. Yeah, and the Dragonborn is like, "You cheating bastard!" and like starts like grabbing, trying to, "I want my money back!" And they are like starting to fight. And yeah, people on the side just like, they all start to grab a seat. It's like, "Oh, this is good. This is really good."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all
I-
started
I-
like watching. Is like, even the bartender's like, "Another challenger for Frederick. Let's see how much would you want to bet on Frederick? This little tiny innocent halfling with no skills to defend himself from this huge giant, like powerful dragonborn fella. So what's your bet? Place your bet now." Yeah, and he just like, a lot of people just like, "Yeah, I'll choose the dragonborn." Like, they all
I
start
call to the
betting.
bartender.
Yeah.
Underdog, 2 gold on the halfling.
Okay, 2 goes to the halfling. The bartender looks at you and just like,
My feet are propped up on the table.
Yeah.
I'm like right in front of it, just like leaning back on 2
Yeah.
chair legs. Like,
Frederick is like, "Oh, he's killing me!" Like, Frederick is just yelling and screaming. Roll for insight, everyone.
I like to think I was sort of like ordering juice from like the barkeep and
Yeah.
Vaikin was like talking to him while my back was turned,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as I like come back, like I come back just in time to see like
Yeah. Bar fight. Yeah.
and, like,
when Riviani comes back, I'm like, that's not my fault. Like, I didn't say a word.
God,
Not my
yeah.
fault.
So, Tali, you think Frederick is losing, the halfling is losing bad. So you immediately regretted you placed down your bet to the halfling. For
I was gonna pay the bartender for his information anyway, so I was like, "This is."
yeah, so you
My
tossed the
bad.
2 gold pieces to the bartender, but you immediately regretted it. However, for Viking and
I don't regret
Ravani, Viking, you've seen a lot of bar fight before, and you know, despite Frederick as being tiny and screaming like his life depends on it, he's actually dodging every punch the Dragonborn has thrown to it.
I'm seeing skill in the fighting, and I look over to the barkeep. I'm like, 100 gold on the halfling.
The barkeep
Just
is
like-
like, "All right, another 100 gold for the halfling. Apparently, our underdog is being, well, let's hope the fine gentleman will get his money back." Anyone else on the Dragonborn? May I remind you, the Dragonborn can breathe. Well, this is a white Dragonborn, so you can breathe cold breath underneath their glands, and they're really powerful at punching and kicking. And yeah, this tiny innocent halfling stands 0 to none chance. What is your bet? And yeah, just everyone just like almost 90% of the bar like crowds just puts their money on the Dragonborn, and the situation got intensified as the Dragonborn. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I sort of raise my hand and having read the situation, and I'll say like I'll raise that bet on the halfling.
Yeah.
I'll bet he won't even get hit a single time.
Huh. Interesting bet. How much would you want to place?
50.
All right, another brave soul puts money into the water, tosses money into the water. Anyway, now the let's call off the bets and let's see the outcome. All right, and as
At any point, am I in danger of getting taken out by like the Dragonborn just wrestling around the table? If
yeah, but however,
because I kind of
roll
want to
for
use that.
perception check.
Yeah.
You notice one thing: the halfling contains the battlefield. It's more like he was dodging and like rolling around. However, with your keen perception, you notice that he never left about 20 feet, about 10 feet of the surroundings. So he dodge out of the way, but it's more like the Dragonborn is trying to chase after it as it rolls around. It seems like the Dragonborn smashed a lot of stuff. However, it doesn't even scrape the halfling. And yeah.
If he passes within my range, I'd like to try and just pickpocket 2 gold off him if he has
Okay.
any.
All right. So roll me a sleight of hand check, actually.
Not right. He's busy.
Yeah. Well, he has.
He
disadvantage.
is
He does
current.
have
I was
disadvantage.
gonna
You
say.
notice that. Okay.
This is the Dragonborn. This isn't the halfling. I'm not so foolish.
Okay. So you are pickpocketing the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
All right. As the two of them. Oh, right. That's wonderful. The Dragonborn rolled a natural 1. So yeah, yeah. As the Dragonborn passes through you, you have 0 to no effort grabbing the pocket right underneath his belt. Yeah. And however, as you're trying on like to scrape through the halfling as well, the halfling actually
I'm not touching him. Like, he is.
yeah. The halfling actually looks at you in a warning sight. Yeah, like even with his dodging. And then yeah, once the bartender says the bet is like sealed, now let's see the outcome. The halfling leaps in midair and just a square right hook just punch through the Dragonborn's face. You can see the Dragonborn is a second ago still like rolling in rage, rampaging. And then the next second just got a square fist right across his face. In shock and disbelief, he just got knocked over. And let's see. All right. This is quite a scene to see a small, tiny halfling punch a Dragonborn 10 feet away from him. It's like the Dragonborn just slammed itself into the inch wall. Like completely dumbfounded, and that's when the halfling reached into his back pocket, took out the crossbow and aimed it towards the Dragonborn's head and just shoots.
Oh no! I'm gonna knock him off.
No. So okay, you
Non-lethal
you know what?
shot to the head.
Try to roll for. You said you wanted to knock him off. Roll for a sleight of hand check to see if you can.
Because I want to knock it so that the bolt's just going to go into the ground. It's not going to hit the Dragonborn.
Do it.
Sleight of hand. Oh, it's not great.
All right. So the arrow darts through your grasp as you're trying desperately to knock it. He's like, no, and you notice that the arrow just through the Dragonborn's ear. Just it makes its ear bleeds a little bit, just right across its ear, like. And you notice the halfling just shrugs. He doesn't even say a word, just shrugs. And
What in the 9 is wrong with you?
yeah. The halfling just like, I was trying to scare this fella. Yeah, you notice that he wasn't even aiming for its skull. He's aiming for the right side of the ear. So, yeah. And he's like, every now and then people tries to mess with me. And from what I stand, they certainly had a point. I'm a weak, little, tiny halfling. But I excelled over and over. It's just these dumbasses. Anyway, now if you excuse me, since you're not interested in buying this so important message that seemingly links your family, and well, I'll be on my merry way. Good day to you, sir. Good day to everyone. And bartender, I need to collect my money. Yeah, he just walks over. Yep, to collect his money.
I look to the bartender. I'm like,
Bartender's
come on.
like collecting the money from everyone and just like paying you guys up. So you place 150 gold pieces, right? 152 gold pieces. So you get 300 gold pieces in return.
space.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So the halfling just walking straight.
We doubled our money then?
Yeah, you double your money.
Okay, so I'm up 200.
Nice. All right.
Because I took that out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
All right. So the halfling just ready to take off. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna follow him outside
Right.
until there's no one listening.
Okay. You follow him to a dark alleyway. He just leans
No,
against the
no,
wall.
just
No, he just leans against the wall and just took out a pipe of smoke and just says, "Come out. I know you're following."
who the hell do you think I am?
Oh, one of those royal black feather blood, aren't you not?
Why? What makes you say this?
Easy. Scrapes of feathers. I can tell, still stuck in your boots. Dresses. The way you move, the stand. You know, I met the garrisons, the royal garrisons, for quite some times. I can see the shadows in you. The way you move, the way you fight. It's easy. What do you need? Come on, I ain't got all day.
Jeez. Thank you for the warning. I don't like that I'm that easy to make. Troubles me.
It's not my
I
problem.
I give him literally the full gold I won.
Okay.
And I'm just
I
like,
want to come out of the bar when I see him leave as well, but a few minutes or a minute after Tali,
Walking, yeah.
I'm like, I just realized I'm like searching around for them, and I'm like, hey, asshole, you wouldn't have got a cut if it wasn't for me.
Oh no, it's been so many times I lost count. It's one way of fun life.
He was licking his wounds. And I'm like looking around for the dragonborn.
If it weren't for you, the bartender will poke him. Eventually, they all fall for the same trick. I'll have to thank you for doing the bartender's job for him. I mean,
I know.
He's been slacking off these days. Yeah. But anyway.
We can have a pretty good racket going here.
Is the Dragonborn still there, actually?
The Dragonborn is like still on the floor inside the tavern, just completely wet himself. It's like this has never been so close to his face. Yeah.
I'll sort of go up to him and sort of give him like a sort of pat on the shoulder, like trying to refrain, like, well, you know, you can't win all, friend.
I sure can't. I mean, I'll be on my way. He's still shaking from the near-death experience he just had. Yeah.
Well, as long as we've learned something from this whole experience, at least
don't mess with, well, whatever. You know what? Thank you, but I think I need to be on my way. And he just walks directly out of the tavern, and just doesn't even look back. All right. So for the halfling's like, all right. Find your whoever trained you. I mean, you're so easy to pick. It's because whoever trained you must have merged their move inside their tutoring. So just be careful around here, especially a royal blood like you, who's not on the list. Yeah.
But why? Why would that be a hazard here?
He just looks at you, just winks, like, well, fine. Since you guys helped me win the gold, and you've been nice talking, I will, you know what, I'll give this one for free. So, apparently, just between you and me, Antarctica Blackfeather is dead. Our beloved sovereign, Blackfeather, is perished. Along with two of his daughters, leaving only his queen in charge.
Oh no. How long ago did this happen?
Yeah. That will be the end of
My
today's
fault.
sessions. We'll pick that up next time to find
ends
out
with-
what exactly happened. Yeah.
I thought, and I was like, please, he's missing. No, he's dead. He's
No,
dead.
he's
He's
dead.
dead. We're in trouble.
I end that with it wasn't my fault.
Nice. It wasn't my fault.
Like,
Yeah.